Welcome back to another exciting edition of Root. This is Knights of Last Call. I am joined by my four friends here who are going to be...
I made it to the friend list.
About time.
Associates. We're going to be with...
Demoted.
Why is your mic always quiet?
Why is my mic always quiet?
Is this because you don't do the audio test?
So we like to troll Derek when he's not looking and go in and like turn down his gain a lot. And then when he goes to test it, we turn it back up. And then when Bob gets on it, everyone's...
yeah, I don't know.
I guess the question is everybody's mic? Yeah, no, but definitely my mic is quiet.
It's very interesting.
All right.
All right.
Well,
Bob,
it has been 0 episodes since we had technical difficulties.
We had one at the beginning of last one. Yeah. Everyone else is normal. That's a stretch.
Yeah.
Just
You need to put a little more
Normal.
definition behind that.
But we are here for Root.
That's our last root
Hypothetically,
game for now.
Yeah, as long as something weird happens.
Season
this-
1 of
Terrorism?
eco-terrorism.
Yeah, eco-terrorism. That's good.
Well, we're not really doing it for the environment, though.
We don't terrorize with
We're
negotiations.
just terrorizing in the environment.
That's right.
No, it's just because my microphone was muted.
Oh.
Oh, that
So they were picking up on our mics.
Yes.
This is the quality you
That's
guys
why
pay for.
Okay, well, that should be better. All right.
Lance / George, Derek O'Sherman will give you a recap.
You didn't actually go back. All right. So
Are we gonna have to watch this meter this whole time?
I hate you, Bob.
I mean, I like looking at myself when I'm talking.
Not egotistical at all, man. Jeez. I have to
just
look
sits
at
there and
myself.
The people at
flexes.
home know.
Bob has his home gym with all the mirrors because it doesn't count as a set
I
if
tried
he
to
doesn't
put-
see himself doing
I
it.
feel like if I was Bob, that would make it a lot harder because I would just be
Okay.
depressed.
So hopefully this is a lot
This is
better
true.
now.
Body dysmorphia is real.
Yeah, Bob. Yeah. Oh, Bob has reverse body dysmorphia, right?
Where
You think you're small, but you want to be big.
Yeah, I know I'm small and I want to be huge.
Okay, well that's not dysmorphic then.
When I look in the mirror, I think I'm.
Yeah, you are very tiny and weak.
It's okay. So
But
I'm
you
actually
also like staring
I'm
at
actually
yourself.
seeing them. Yeah. So I'm actually seeing what I
No,
think
no,
I
no.
see.
I am supporting my friend.
Yes.
You know, and his
Work harder.
Work harder.
Yeah.
Getting that. You
Stop
know, you're
eating
not
so
in the
much
gym.
sugar.
You know, you're not in the
Get
gym.
better
I did
genetics.
CrossFit on Labor Day and it was ridiculous.
You did CrossFit?
Yeah, my friend has a membership to CrossFit gym,
Oh,
and
sweet.
so I got
I was about to say
free trial.
There's no way Bob ever joined a
Oh,
CrossFit
no,
gym.
no,
It's like
no,
$150 a month.
No. Yeah, Labor Day free special. You bring your family and friend, and I went, and it was awesome. I do miss CrossFit is awesome.
I used to do it. I enjoyed it.
It's awesome. It's too much money though.
But yeah, it is very expensive. But if you go all the time, it's worth it.
Exactly.
What's in a CrossFit gym?
Nothing.
First of all, it's called a box.
It's called a box. You got to go to the box. CrossFit gym usually
4 walls,
has 4 walls, some tires,
a garage door,
maybe.
big fan.
Okay.
They
Heavy
usually have a
metal.
bunch of barbells, a bunch of plates, but very little what I would call equipment.
Think of
Okay.
it like almost like a jungle gym like setup. Like it's got like a lot of bars coming off the wall with like platforms. There's almost like an excessive amount of pull-up bars.
Okay.
And then like
So
lots of
it-
plates, almost all rubberized plates.
Yeah.
And then lots of kettlebells and,
And they do
jumping box.
So they do a
jumps.
lot of like dynamic movements, you know, like Olympic style lifts, like snatches,
Lots of
and-
running,
and
cardio, bike. There's bikes all the time.
you know,
It's like a prison yard.
do 10, yeah, like
It's
a prison
awesome.
yard. Yeah, it's kind of like a prison yard. Like,
It's
You
awesome.
go,
Like-
just go to prison.
like do 10 burpees.
free
Also,
access.
I might go this. No,
do 10 burpees, then do 10 deadlifts. Anyways,
it was awful.
thank you.
Awesome.
So yeah, fun audio times. No, actually, it's because before this, we had a patron, Vin. Hi, Vin. Was bitching about.
Sounds like Vin.
Vin was bitching about something about my microphone, and he was like, "Oh, you should swap that back out for the Shure SM7B." And I was like, "I'm telling you, that's not the difference." So I was messing with my mic, and then in order to make it work, I muted my mic, which is why it was happening. So, anyways, yeah. So, anyways, as I was saying, welcome to our final episode of Root. Thank you so much for being a participant in this cool little experiment here. We understood going into this that not being D&D 5e, not even being Pathfinder 2, that we were not going to get the sort of size of audience that we would normally get. But I've been pleasantly surprised. I mean, we've actually done 40 plus people.
We got it's a lizard cult following now.
Yeah, it's a little crumple.
And I just want to personally thank the 6 bots, Nick's wife, and George's 4 accounts
Yes.
for sticking
There he
with
is.
us.
Shout out to both
Shout
of
out
the
to
viewers.
both the viewers. But and obviously we've had some incredibly supportive people throughout this experiment. We had folks throwing money to get people, and we
We've had a lot of fun.
we ended up buying some fun costumes, and we had some good times.
Plus, the
and
set looks great.
Yeah. And so, this is our first AP here at the set. And again, I'm really excited and stoked about it. And it's kind of what I always wanted it to be, which is, well, aside from the audio things, which will, unfortunately.
Eventually get a producer.
Well, this route has, the amount of time I've spent on cameras and lights, you guys have been here for the last 6 weeks, is zero.
Right.
Right. The only thing I have to mess with, because we had the shotgun microphones, then we had the lavalier microphones, then we put in the emergency microphones, then we got these new microphones.
I wouldn't stress it because Ben is going to want to fly up here at some point, do a call through the game. There's no way in hell Ben's going to run a session with shitty audio.
Right.
He'll show up a day early just to unfuck your shit.
Agreed. And I will be the first to admit that I'm more of an audio or more of a video guy photography guy than I am an audio guy. But long story short, aside from this, it is kind of push button ready. I mean, I can come into this studio, I hit a couple switches, hit a couple buttons, and the whole thing is lit. The whole thing is ready to go. And that is exactly what we wanted, because we wanted this to be a nice, easy, low bar of entry to get us in here. So thank you so much for your incredible support. We could not do any of this without you. And we really look forward to, to being back in here with future actual plays.
What are we going to play next? I guess it's up to our patrons.
It is up to the patrons.
How do you become a patron?
There's a couple ways, but the easiest way is to just go to the link in the description of this video, patreon.com/nightsoflastcall. We've got a couple different tier options available. All of them get you access to our private Discord, where you can join all of us and have some really, 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 really intense role-playing game conversations. It's an incredible community. You will learn so much more about role-playing games than you ever would think that you could have possibly learned. So definitely a good thing to check out. But yeah, the patrons. Some people are pulling for Fabula Ultima.
I think it's the heavy vote. I've thrown around Avatar.
Avatar is another option. Although I don't know if we'd want to go from PbtA to PbtA.
Agreed. I also voted for Dune.
Oh, okay.
2D20, because I've never played 2D20.
So who knows? We have some things.
When's the Dune movie coming out? We should coincide it.
It was supposed to be November, but I think it got delayed.
Oh, we should coincide it with the movie coming out, because then every time we hashtag Dune in the YouTube algorithm might throw us a bone.
Right, we might get 50 viewers instead of 40.
These people are playing Dune. The movie's out.
Yeah, that's the name of the movie.
What is this nerd shit? Leave.
Animes Mon. I like the Modiphius system. I think the 2D20 system is very cool. I think Star Trek Adventures, from what I've gotten to play with it, was pretty cool. I think it's a good system. All right, everybody, let's take a look at our map.
Yeah, and what happened previously?
So what happened last time on Knights of Last Call?
Ooh.
The Vagabonds traveled south along the Great River to the small clearing of Sundell. Again.
Returning.
This time, they were the vanguard of an impressive Riverfolk otter fleet of mercenaries who are here to take Sundell for the powers of the Marquis Sate Decat. However, the riverboat journey was not an uneventful one, as it was discovered that the captain, the legendary Skipper Magni of the Starflow, was in fact, dun dun dun, a lizard cultist leader, and had converted over half. There we go. And had converted over half of his men and loyal otter warriors to worship of the lizard cult.
Before dead now, so it's back just to half.
Correct. All right, it was a little more than half, not half.
4 dead plus Magni.
Spoiler alert.
So that's like 5 dead.
The Vagabonds.
Well, we don't know how many potentially survived the boat.
That's why it was a joke.
The Vagabonds led the assault against the beaches of Sundell, and the Eyrie forces fell quickly to the arrows of Sox the Ranger and to the blade of Vance the Arbiter.
Good job.
Meanwhile, Lucius and Artemis struggled against 4 dudes.
4 who
were not soldiers.
4 cultists.
4 cultists with oars, right? They had little daggers.
They
right?
were laborers, commoners.
They weren't even warriors.
No joke. They were no joke. They put me right.
Joke.
They baptized me real fast.
Also technically on our side, but
yes, and so they wanted to kill them for being
technically he unconscioused me.
Yeah, he did unconscious you. That's the narrative term.
I got unconscious.
I got unconscious.
I had never killed anybody before, so that's my defense.
Oh yeah, you had your quote unquote first.
Did you like murder 3 people?
No, at least one.
I thought he just kept murdering them. I thought Bob only managed to like maybe
I think I
kill
only
one.
got
Killed
one.
two.
I think I
You
only
killed
got
two.
one.
No, he
One
killed
guy-
two because he stabbed the one with the
Quill.
Oh, I know he
and
killed more
or-
than one.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
no,
he pulled
yeah,
the one
he
out
sta-
with the quill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he killed one with the pole arm and he killed another one with his quill.
yeah.
Yeah.
You took out the fourth one because I think you.
I was
didn't do anything.
unconscious.
Yeah, no, but you killed one.
I killed
thought-
one.
Yeah, you killed
Before I
one.
went in the water.
He killed two, and I thought you killed.
I thought you did kill one
Did I kill one?
Yeah, you killed the last one with the arrow.
with the arrow.
How did I kill him?
You pulled out an arrow and shot him in the face.
Arrow through the face, I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I wasn't even near the boat.
You were going back after you.
I
After
was like going back. I didn't care about him.
It was probably Artemis.
You were going back.
Maybe not then.
I don't know.
How did?
I thought you talked him into.
I'm pretty sure
No,
Artemis
you
killed
talked him into
three.
following you.
Maybe Artemis
That,
did
that was
take out
after he
three.
woke me up.
Because you clear. I know you only killed one.
I only killed one.
Well, regardless, somebody
well,
died. We'll just
there was
blame
four of them
Artemis.
in the office.
So four of them died somehow, tragically.
Because actually, the lizard cult likes me at the moment. So.
And
for now.
they made their way into Sundell, fighting Eyrie forces as they went in until they eventually reached with the the main host of the otters attack force behind them. And then when they finally reached the central plaza, they discovered that the Eyrie dynasty, including the now crazed Lord Whiteclaw, incensed ever since the destruction of Sundell at the hands of the Vagabond, had lined up a good majority of his citizens in preparation for summary execution as a way to hold bargain and leverage over the invading attackers.
No one gave him the memo.
However, Vance came in, Excalibur in hand,
I challenged him to a duel to the death.
which we did not know was a thing, but we made it up on the spot.
he went for it,
He went for it. It makes total sense. And then they fought. But Vance, I would say you embarrassed him.
I'd say so.
And then you ran him through.
I mean, it was clearly defined in the rules. It was a fight to the death, a
Right.
duel to the death. So yeah, he
Right.
had to
You
go.
had to kill.
Yeah, he had to go.
He had to go.
You couldn't finish it otherwise.
While this was happening, of course, the Eyrie guards, the Eyrie soldiers were completely distracted, allowing Sox and Lucius, and even a sort of reluctant Artemis, the ability to sort of smuggle out the captured denizens and get them safely to the edges of town where they could.
Put him in like a alleyway. Like
Well, yeah, that's why I said, because as they were escaping, several of the denizens grabbed Artemis, threw him into an alleyway, and threw him up against the wall and basically said, "We're going to kill you because you killed so many of our family members when you blew up our town and the subsequent firestorm. Also, we've heard of your rampaging destruction in Underleaf. Also, the bombing of Patchwood is apparently your fault because the bombs that you developed for the Eyrie dynasty were developed by you." And then instead of talking to them or making a rational reasoning with them and trying to plead to their moral side, you instead showed them that your vest was laced with explosives and that you would blow them all up if they didn't leave you alone. I believe
He
that
threw
is.
the one squirrel into the bomb, onto the bridge that blew up as well. I mean,
that was a while ago.
That was
but
a while
yeah.
ago.
That was wild. Nick, that was like 2-3 weeks ago. What are you talking about? And then Artemis was able to once again sneak his way out of that. So as we begin here, our final Jesus Bob. How do you people watch him at home?
what is he do? What
If
did
they're on
you
their,
do?
if they're on their phone, they can't even see you. But I always make facial expressions
Bob does
and do
this.
stuff.
He just goes.
It's so fucking cringe.
Dude.
Like, I'm just sitting here and I'm seeing him do this, and so then I'm like, all right.
Don't you know how
I'll
I
try
look
not
at
to
you
look
on
at him.
when we play L5R?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're watching
Oh,
Smith,
animal puns.
you're like, oh, dude, that's so cool.
I mean, I get into it with my facial expressions.
Very animated.
Yeah, but this is you getting into yourself.
No, it's
No, the
fine to get
people at
into it with your
home
facial
are
expressions
watching too.
when there's something interesting happening.
Tell me more.
Give him the smolder.
You could definitely. All right, we got one player down. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Trash
You,
Panda has left the building.
you could definitely tell it's the last episode of AP.
And it's 90 degrees outside.
Yeah,
asking about CrossFit. You know
Yeah, CrossFit and Root real close to each other, right?
all right.
So at the end of the episode, though, they
Yeah, so
we
right
got
at
a
the
new
end,
Duke.
Yeah, so right at the end of the episode, because you killed Duke Whiteclaw in a legitimate challenge of accession, and because you possess the rightful Excalibur, the laws of the Eyrie dynasty, ancient and baroque, dictated that you
Keep what you kill.
keep what you kill. Apparently, you are now the Duke of Sundell by law and by blood. You and all your heirs from this day to the ending of the day, Vance, first of his name, Lord of Sundell, keeper of the 7 kingdoms and the ruined tower, the broke. Yeah, until somebody else
Until
kills you.
someone else kills me.
Oh, I can become the Duke.
I feel like
kill
that's
your protector? Like, what the hell, man?
ineffective system of government.
And so as the session, so everything seemed to be okay. And then at the end of the session, the Riverfolk fought their way through the remaining part of the town, and the Riverfolk mercenaries came, kind of busting into the town square where the Eyrie soldiers were sort of still in a bit of disarray. You've got Vance holding up his sword, and they are kind of like unsure what to do, and then they, bow, take a knee, and bend the knee, and pledge their loyalty to the new, long live Duke Vance. Just as the massive Riverfolk company come busting in. Tim says, "Wait, no costumes on the finale." Tim, no. The unfortunate
tipping,
audience
Tim.
left.
our audience, and the money all went away, and so
Which is actually okay.
You and the bots right now.
It's too hot to be in a costume.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, today would have been rough.
Today would have been real
Absolutely.
rough. Yeah, the AC didn't get turned on until a little bit before showtime today, so it's a little bit warmer in here than it might ordinarily be. But Tim, don't worry, we've got those costumes in the bank.
It's actually in my trunk of my car.
So for future punishment, if I ever need to get some extra capital, I can just be like, costumes ? And then it's like, boom, all right.
Right here, just bust it out.
Tip, $50 tip goal. We really appreciate the quality of play. Damn, we only got $5. Tip goal, $3,000. Everyone has to be an idiot and look and be uncomfortable. Yeah.
Sounds about right.
It's like one person just one shots it.
Yeah, Tim, you were in Quest for the Frozen Flame. You were in Rise of the Rune Lords. You know how this goes. The end is always the people who basically really, really like it. Everybody else is sort of checked out by now. All right, so you guys are in the central square of Sundell. Vance, you have just defeated Duke Whiteclaw, and the people are hailing you as your Duke. You three have moved the denizens out to the outskirts of town so that they can either hide or escape as they want. But this is still their hometown. They would like to not be refugees. But they are safe from the upcoming battle. And, I mean, it hasn't been a problem so far, but just saying. Meaning they're not going to go running. They're not running to Pinehorn where they'll be slaughtered by the lizard cult or something like that.
Oh, I mean,
It's like, let 'em run
everyone's a
away.
refugee. Like Underleaf, Patchwood, like Sundell. I mean, like there are no denizen locations left.
Milltown is the only place that would be okay. Right?
Yeah, it's going to get invaded.
Yeah, and just as a reminder, last week we did have some generous tips, which it let the lizard cult expand and explode out across the map. Iron Vein, Wind Gap Refuge, Underleaf, Patchwood, Fire Hollow, Pinehorn have all fallen to lizard folk cultists. Now,
And Sundell is on the cusp of
yeah,
it.
now Bob, as the resident lizard folk cultist,
Oh yeah, let me read my little Bible.
would you say that those were bloodless coups d'etats, or would you say that they were violent, bloody revolutions?
They're probably more of conversion, but if I'm not mistaken, the root lore is that they kill them and they rise up as
It depends.
I don't know. You tell us. What is your root
my
lore?
thought was, well, I'm talking about board game lore.
Oh, okay.
I think they kill them and then they become cultists. That's how I think that's probably happened. But I mean, Magni was able to convert half his crew, so that's how I'd like to do it.
Okay.
I mean, obviously go in there. Denizens are these
So
area pressures.
what I'm asking is, did the denizens of Fire Hollow, Underleaf, Pinehorn, Windgap, did they willingly convert? Were they wanting this, or was it sort of a convert or die?
It's probably more like convert or die, or like brainwash.
Sure.
I mean, I like there's nothing left, but we have resources. You know,
I was gonna say for Underleaf and Patchwood, because of the nature of like the chaos and destruction that was left behind, that was probably, I would say, would be more bloodless because of hey, we have resources.
Yeah.
Let us help you rebuild. If you convert
Almost like
and
charity.
join. Yeah, like
Right.
Oh, we're missionary
but,
people
yeah,
here, lizard people.
Yeah, Fire Hollow and Pinehorn, the Eyrie were there, so
That's that
So
one. I would
that
think
might
they
have
might
been
have to
more
come
bloody.
in.
That
and
might have been a little bit more
force.
violent.
Yeah, a little
makes-
crusade.
Yeah, that makes sense. Anthony says, "Congrats to Bob for surviving to the last session."
Yeah, it was definitely touch your brother.
It was
Yeah.
well, it was
A
before
couple sessions.
Before the video arrived, Bob was like, "I almost died," and then Aaron's like, "Dude, you've almost died like every single session. Remember when I almost killed your character?
You almost killed me. I almost have the fire explosion off
Yeah,
the treetop.
gravity almost
building.
killed you.
Gravity
Yeah,
almost killed
gravity.
me. Gravity fire.
No,
as it's-
remember, it's not gravity that kills him. It's a sudden stop at the bottom.
There.
Yes, so it's the ground's fault. which is why you didn't kill your brother. Physics
told
did.
You. Yeah, that's right.
This side of the table is very like, let me just have some cognitive dissonance about my death and murderous. At least these people own it. When
I killed that cultist leader. I mean, I got him.
Yeah, you did.
He got his, and I got his stuff.
Right.
That was the only one that because you didn't have to roll for it.
I
So-
just went and did it.
So Lucius, you, Artemis, and Sox are presumably making your way back into the town. When the Riverfolk arrive, Vance, you are standing in the middle of the town square. You have maybe, I don't know, 40, 50 Eyrie soldiers at your back. Whoa. When you hear a large commotion and you see coming in from the other side of the town square, their bronze plate mails gleaming, their halberds, their like funny little Renaissance era metal caps on their head. You see the otter mercenaries of the Riverfolk Company marching into town. Again, probably another maybe 60 to 100 otters in total. Very few died in the assault because you guys did such a good job securing and taking the beach. And so, yeah, they are coming
the
in.
Otters kind of outnumber the Eyrie.
Oh, like 2 to 1. 2 to 1. Yeah. Really 1 to 1 because half of these otters.
So wait, you're saying
half of these otters.
1/3 are otters, 1/3 are Eyrie, and 1/3 is this mystery lizard batch?
Exactly. So that's kind of what we're working with. And you see them kind of marching in. The otters look a little confused because they were expecting to be meeting heavy resistance as they made their way in.
And they just kind of waltz in while they were all watching me duel.
Yeah. Oh, no, like you've clearly won and they have sworn their allegiance to you. And like the men and women of the Eyrie forces are kind of looking to you, kind of be like, I mean, this has been a busy day. And so like they, 5-10 minutes ago, they were like, grappling with grappling with the morality of what they were about to do, and then suddenly you show up and kind of give them an out, but now you're not a bird, right? And you're wielding Excalibur, and you defeated their duke, so you're technically the rightful ruler of Sundell by Eyrie dynasty law and tradition. So they're kind of in a weird spot.
I was gonna say, but I gotta imagine there's some hesitation with them too because I'm not a bird.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, yes, by their law and traditions, like okay, he killed the leader, he has Excalibur. That's like 2 check marks to he's a new guy, but I gotta imagine they're probably not gonna be.
Yeah, so they're a little, and also too, like literally, this has just happened. So at that moment, the Riverfolk Company comes in, and you start hearing the, kind of the sergeants or the captains amongst the Riverfolk Company, otters, take your positions, and the otters begin spreading out their halberds, crunching across the cobblestone pavement of this central square as the otters begin kind of circling out, using their vast numbers to sort of create a envelopment.
Oh, I saw that battle of Game of Thrones. Did not go well for Jon Snow.
Hey, Wolfelstein with $20. I don't even know what those are.
Fire extinguishers.
I was wondering what they were too. I was like,
Artemis has been out of view for a while, so those may be needed.
Yeah.
Luckily, the last thing he blew up were boats, which are on the water.
That's right.
They put themselves out once they
It's a
sink.
new session.
He only blew up one boat.
That's right.
That's true. He attempted to try to do
flagship.
others.
He was hoping they were next to each other.
Right. He wanted all the boats to be like in line formation. But no, but it was their biggest boat, their most proud boat. And of course, it was also the boat that you were on that also had all the NPCs that you had both connections to and debts to. So,
And all the money.
yeah, and all the money.
Well, not all the money,
Not all the
because that one vagabond that after Lucius had broken into the safe,
He stole some stuff.
he stole the money
Where is
from
he?
the safes. Yeah, hey, we don't know where he's at. So, all right,
Gunvold was his name.
All right. So, the Riverfolk Company mercenaries are flooding into town. You guys are still a few minutes away, but you can hear the sound of the battalions kind of crunching and marching their way in.
That sounds fun.
So we were hired to get them out, basically, right? It's basically so that the Otter Company could take over Sundell.
That is correct.
They didn't say
For
we
the
had
cats.
they didn't say we had to massacre them or anything like that.
They
It
never
was-
have. Let me be
That's all.
let me
I
be-
just want to make sure because this
They never said don't.
No, to be clear, they don't care about that either.
Right.
But let me. At no point
that's good.
has any.
That's right.
There was one group which you never got paid for. There was one group who actually asked you to kill the Marquisate ATN.
He wanted us
He
to,
wanted
to
you
assassinate the
one
guy.
One guy.
Which
can't
I
do that.
did.
No.
Okay,
Oh, well.
okay. I don't know what your definition of assassinate is, but having a public feud with your brother out in the middle of the open area and then pushing him to his death.
What's the
Well, he
Google
didn't push
definition?
him. No, he just let him go.
think murder of a public
He
figure.
Mufasa'd him.
He
Okay.
Mufasa'd him.
Okay, fine. But if the people of the Serengeti had seen Scar, Mufasa, would they have been so?
See, this is just because Derek has never played the Assassin's Creed games. Which
That is
for
very
some
true.
reason,
That
you
is very
assassinate
true, yes.
everyone in a very public and gory
Oh,
display.
you could jump from a tower.
They just-
just do that. With the what were those called? The hidden blades and the just stab someone.
Yeah, hidden blade.
And you'd see him jump on them, kill them,
Stab them, and then walk away.
and then walk away, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, okay, just carry on."
Okay, no, I've not played those games. They sound horrible.
They're very realistic. I don't know what
Usually
you're talking about.
assassination implies a certain level of secrecy, so that there's a certain level of provable deniability.
No one
Not
saw.
necessarily.
I don't know if
If you
anyone saw me do
assassinate
it.
someone, I mean, look at some of the presidents that have been assassinated. That was kind of public.
Yeah,
But they don't know
the
who
shooter
did
was
it.
secret.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
did
yeah.
anyone see me actually let go? Because I think I publicly, I Mufasa. There was a lot of fire going
You
on.
Mufasa'd him.
Yeah.
I think after the explosion.
No,
just
no,
before.
no. It was
Because then the
before,
explosion
it was
sent me
before
over.
the explosion.
But
He
there was
went out on the-
chaos.
I mean,
happening.
the fighting was happening though.
Yes,
The
well, we
stampede
saw-
was happening.
The only thing is,
before
we saw
I Mufasa'd him.
we saw him and his brother go out on the landing. That
Yes.
was it because they had the conversation. We saw them go alone.
The bomb blew him up as far as
Yeah,
I can
And
I
that's
think
what I mean.
George
Is
is
like
correct.
we may not
The
know.
definition of assassin is more about the importance of the target.
He says, and the surprise.
Oh,
he was surprised.
Anyway,
I'm just- all right.
waiting for my invisible cloak that I can't see.
Like, for example, would you say that Vance assassinated Duke Whiteclaw?
No, that was
No,
a
that's a
duel.
duel. That's
That's what I'm saying. I mean, he killed
he
him.
wasn't
murdered him.
surprised about that though.
But a duel is a thing. It's a construct.
If Bob and his brother had a duel in
Then technically, that would not have been an
That
assassin.
that would
not
not
have
be
been
an
an
assassination.
assassin, no.
I got it. So if duel, not assassination. Anything else, assassination.
Potentially.
So one thing
If he was
Kalos is good
surprised.
at is definitions. We like to learn
What is assassination?
slamming
Where's
the
get
door
at?
open.
We should make that into a shirt.
Slam the door open.
Slam the door, slams open.
Slam. Yeah. That's a classic
that needs,
definition.
yeah, that
blunder.
needs to be on a shirt somewhere. All right.
That
So-
needs to be on a shirt. Needs to be on a shirt.
yes, it does.
We say it all the time, and then we don't make a shirt.
Hey, I'm wearing a shirt right now, and if
right.
you're a member of the Knights of Last Call Patreon and you have a couple hundred tickets, you can get one too.
Well, how do you get tickets?
What's your shirt say?
My shirt says Knights of Last Call. It's a simple left-breasted logo, and on the back it says we should make this into a shirt.
They don't, but they will soon.
Actually, to be
I'm
fair,
sure that exists.
our initial run of test shirts did say on the back "fluffy bullshit time."
just one shirt said that.
Oh, just one shirt
Yeah,
said
I
that.
had one of like each one.
Oh,
I had
okay.
like one that said map attack, one that said flavor bullshit time, one that said potion of elixir.
Got it. All right. Lance says, "Whoa, is that the same logo as on the front of the table?" He said the thing. He said the thing. It's like the same thing in the movie. All right. So, Vance, what do you do? And then I'll get to you guys in a second here.
And the reason why I'm asking that is because if we want to get paid and stuff like that, not knowing if the explosion and stuff that kind of happened, but I mean we probably heard it, but we didn't know exactly what it was because we were in combat at the time. I know obviously he knows what it was, and you do because you use that
right
as a
there.
distraction. Yeah. So I'm gonna try to basically plead with them to surrender. I'm assuming
Who,
that
the
it,
otters?
You're gonna tell
no,
your
that the otters.
followers?
They're outnumbered and they're literally being
You're
surrounded
the
right now.
leader.
Yeah, you can give them an order.
To basically attack and die or surrender
Or
and become
leave.
prisoner. Well, they could fly. Well, yeah, they could probably just fly away, couldn't they?
I mean, I'm not telling you what to do. Just seems crazy that if I was that guy, I'd be like, surrender. What?
Well, I'm not there.
Nick has not played
I don't care.
L5R. He doesn't know proper decorum.
But-
he doesn't know that this is a command situation.
But I
right?
don't. But I also.
There is a reputation move called Command.
It's true.
no way.
Oh, in here too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 30 versus
so-
30 versus 30.
So you need to command resources. Now, normally you need reputation +3, but because you're the Duke, I'm going to let you do it. when you command an NPC, whatever, you roll up your reputation for their faction. On a 10+, you get what you need as soon as they can do it for you. On a 7 to 9, they impose a condition on you and how you must either use the resources or their action, and what you must return to the faction in recompensation. So
Does it help that I'm -1 with the birds right now?
I feel like you should roll with his actual reputation, but still be able to use the move.
oh, absolutely.
Oh, for sure. Then this is excellent.
I mean, I'm technically -1, which also makes sense because I'm not a bird, so that some of them are going to be reserved.
Well,
about
this is
me.
a positive, or this is a situation where there's a lot of negative reputation move where you treat it as positive, but this is a positive move. So
And
in that
actually
case,
keep the
I'm
negative
gonna
as
just
a
say
negative,
keep the
absolutely.
negative as a negative. That being said, you are wielding the legendary blade
that's right.
Excalibur, and this uses some of the. People go, oh, it's a rules light game. It's like, no, they got rules for stuff. This the legendary blade gives you is treated, I should say, because of its
Legendary.
legendary
I wanted to say that.
power.
Legendariness.
Legendaries. Any mark of reputation, you can got a legend by 1. Yes. So you get a +1.
So it basically negate.
It negates. So basically, you would be at -1, which would mean that they would be, they kind of actively dislike you. But because you're wielding Excalibur, they basically are like, yeah, there's a 50, there's a good shot that we'll listen to you. So you are going to command the Eyrie Dynasty troops to.
I got now. I'm going to say fly away. Basically, just retreat. Then
This is a patrol group, right?
no,
That's
well,
50.
There's
50
But the
Eyrie
otters
Dynasty troops.
outnumber
No, I'm
us
saying
greatly.
like your birds might be armored, in which case they can't
Oh
fly.
yeah, would they be?
Yeah, they're
heavily
armored.
Okay,
Yeah, they're
so
armored.
basically, it's either surrender or
Well, it's up
fight
to you,
the death.
Nick.
Or march out the town.
They're not. They're surrounded by the otters right now.
Oh, they're surrounded.
The otters are surrounding.
So there's a potential chance of escape. So can I read a tense situation and see if we can find out if there is a potential opportunity to escape?
Don't forget, you are employed by the otters, so you could have a conversation.
Well, that's why I was saying to surrender with them. It's just I'm working for the otters to basically secure Sundell, and if the birds surrender, that accomplishes it. That's why I asked. They hired us
know
not
where they
to
going.
do
They
the
going to Clutcher's
massacre.
Creek. Like
you don't
where
have
are
to
they
tell them
going?
to surrender. You can also be like, stand down. Surrender
It's the same
implies
thing as surrendering. Though.
Well, surrender
Stand down
implies
is
throw down
surrender.
your weapons and turn to the otters for mercy. Stand down is like, sheath your weapons and
No
So don't actually turn them down, but sheath them.
yeah,
Which is the same thing.
it's different.
It's just slightly.
It allows them to have their agency.
Surrendering is here you go.
Yeah.
We're yours. We're your prisoner now.
So if you tell them to stand
Stand
down,
down is we're not going to fight.
We're
Let's
not
try
gonna
talk this
fight.
out first.
all right.
Because remember, it's not Dungeons and Dragons. The otters also don't want to die.
That is a good point.
So if you
That is a good
stand
point.
down and it's
All right,
not
so
immediately
then I'll-
hostile, they're going to want to talk.
So then I'll do that. I'm down for that. I think that's the best
Okay.
way. We'll tell them to basically stand down and lay their arms or to not
Sheath their
commence
weapons.
fighting. Yeah.
All right, so you're telling this to
The Eyrie Dynasty.
the Eyrie
that I
Dynasty
have-
forces.
that
All right.
Now I'm their official duke. or
Right,
whatever
so
you wanna call it.
roll with a +0.
And that would be charm or cunning.
Neither.
It's just
It's
So just
rolling with your
trusting luck,
reputation.
basically?
no, it's
Oh, okay,
reputation.
You're actually commanding resource.
6.
All right, so who?
That didn't work.
Although you said none of us are here.
That's true, but of course you guys were on your way. So if one of you wants to jump in,
I thought he was gonna die.
but
What is this
I'll say if this doesn't
Yeah.
work, I'm going out the back anyways, or I'm going to start killing birds because that's what we were.
I'll deplete an exhaustion, Derek.
okay. So how does Socks? So Nick, narratively,
Okay.
you are what? You're turning to these
I'm
men
telling
and
them
women.
to stand down. Yeah, just stand down, and there no more people need to die, no more birds, no more otters need to suffer any more harm and injustice or whatever you want to call it.
Besides Duke.
So
he was. You could tell he was already crazed.
was crazy.
I have freed you
Right.
from your oppressive leader.
So you're appealing to them because you could tell that like they weren't happy with the sort of maybe.
Well, yeah, you could see the look on their face when they were like, all right, you could tell he was deranged and was going to try to hurt the denizens.
Right.
And you could tell they were uncomfortable with it. So it was like, all right, we'll take this over. Lay down your arms. Give up. No more fighting needs to ensue at this point.
All right, so he's giving them this order, and you can see a look, within the troops of sort of like they're close to like wanting to go ahead with it, but there's a couple of Eyrie Dynasty people who are like, they're like, you have no right to command us.
You're not a bird.
You're not a bird. And so there's like kind of like the tension where they're about to shift the favor to a 6-, but Smith, you marked an exhaustion. So how
Sure.
does Socks help in this situation?
So Socks kind of accidentally helps, right? He's walking back into the town square. He sees the situation. Clearly, Vance has won the duel. 'Cause
Right.
Socks left before all that was finished.
That's true.
And is now in command of the birds because of a horrible system of government. The otters are. So, from Socks's viewpoint, this battle is won. So, Socks is kind of walking in, kind of slings his bow over his shoulder, slaps some of the otters on the back, like, good job, right? Walks over, nods to Vance, sees the birds, but seeing that they're under control, kind of like respectfully nods, hey, okay, we're not going to kill each other right now. And basically just exudes complete confidence and control. But everyone knows he's a raccoon and those things are rabid. At any moment, he could just start killing people. So it's calm, but no one wants to mess with the raccoon.
Got it. So in other words, you come strolling back in, just kind of big dick energy.
Yeah, BDE
Shit
everywhere.
doesn't stink.
And because everyone's tensed up for this battle.
Yeah.
You're the comic relief and just relieve the tension right away.
Everyone's tense, but not Socks, and that's scary.
And then and then the Eyrie forces, so that'll change it to a 7. So the Eyrie forces kind of turn, and the Riverfolk begin coming in, and the Eyrie turn to you, and they say, "Have you betrayed us? You killed our lord to what? Make us pawns of a Riverfolk company?"
I was hired to kill you all now. I mean, if you want to go that route, we can go that route. But I'm trying to save your lives here. I'd probably take the offer if I were you.
Oh, that's a pretty good, compelling reason.
Clearly, Vance understands the situation.
they kind of look at you and they're kind of like, well, I mean, that is
They
good.
count the
They
otters.
count the otters. They kind of go.
Yeah, we
they're
got
like,
number 2-1. I don't like our odds here.
The Riverfolk sergeant kind of comes forward. He sees that they're standing down. He starts having a quick conversation with you, Socks, as you guys kind of arrive. The Eyrie sort of sergeants, the sort of like little princelings or whatever, kind of come over to you. So, a surrender of Sundell. What then? You are our lord. Do you intend to take your place? Those here, some of these men and women, may follow you, but I will tell you that, and they don't, by the way, know that the rest of their entire dynasty basically got wiped off the map by lizard cults.
There's no birds left.
They don't really know that,
And
but they
they're
don't.
subject to follow the same.
The rest of the dynasties will never accept you as one of their own, whether you wield Excalibur or not. You will find yourself facing a uphill climb to accept any sort of find any acceptance within the ranks of the dynasties.
Missed opportunity for a flying pun.
Yes, I did. That's not going to fly.
Great recovery.
Whoa, Big Daddy, GM
Oh,
Scott,
Jim Scott.
coming in with a $50 tip. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Still an episode or two behind, but I will catch the VOD. But I want to support these live plays of various systems. Awesome. Well, we appreciate
Thank
it,
you,
GM
thank
Scott.
you,
We love
thank
you. And again, folks like GM Scott, folks like Whipplestein, folks like, well, so many of you who have donated are the reason why we have the opportunity to play these,
We
basically.
got to play Oath with GM Scott in person,
Yes.
which was really cool, which is basically Root.
That was an extremely expensive game of Oath.
Yes.
The most expensive game of Oath of all time.
But it's fun to do that kind of stuff with some of our patrons.
But thank you, GM Scott. We really appreciate it. And again, because of the support of people like Scott and Whipplestein and so many of the rest of you, our patrons, we're going to keep seeing more of these non-D&D, non-Pathfinder 2 actual plays where we're going to take some of these other systems, smaller systems, even these big indie systems are still pretty small in the world map. And we're going to get a chance to play them for 3, 6, 9 sessions. It really just comes down to what our patrons are interested in and what they're feeling. And we try, ultimately, we want to have fun. We want to play cool games, but we are also here to obviously take advantage of, the awesome patrons who can tell
Enable
us
this,
yeah,
yeah.
they're right, like we have the advantage of being able to go, hey, tell us what you want to see, and we can sort of work with that. So
We listen to you.
right, we really do. All right, so Nick, they're looking at you with a little bit of skepticism. They're like, how do we know that the Riverfolk won't just kill us?
I mean, they haven't yet. I mean, there's a possibility, and you're also assuming that I want to stick around to lead you guys. I might have just been doing this just for shits and giggles. You don't know.
Oh well, that is probably that is a horse of a different color. That's a peacock of a different feather.
Well, I mean, you're saying I want to rise to the ranks. Who said that I really want to rise to the ranks of the Eyrie Dynasty?
but you wield Excalibur. You slew Duke Whiteclaw.
Maybe I just really enjoy a fight and in a battle, and I thought he might be up for the task, and lo and behold, he was not.
All right. Meanwhile, on the other side of the square, you guys, Socks, you come up to see Socks is talking to an otter, kind of the otter sergeant of the arms. Looks like we've mostly got the town secure then. Is that accurate, Socks?
Socks takes a look at this guy.
Yeah.
Tries to figure out if he's part of the cult.
Oh.
You figure out an NPC?
Yeah, figure someone
It's
out.
literally called figure someone
I
out.
thought that was only for a PC.
Yeah, roll charm.
All right, that is a 6.
Oh.
So I want to help Socks out.
Bob, can you help him? I was
No,
like,
because he's gonna murder him. Maybe he's gonna murder the guy. Why do you want to? The guy you're talking to, you're trying to figure out if he's a lizard cult member.
I was like, you
I don't
probably.
just murder people, Bob. That's your thing.
He's not a child that's being oppressed.
So you got a 6-. So he kind of looks at you and goes, you see that he is reaching down to a knife on his belt to stab you in the heart.
Why are you trying to stab me?
He looks at you and he goes, "Die, infidel!" He pulls out his dagger.
Sweet.
As he raises it above his head, and he kind of goes, "For the great worm!" And he brings the knife down on you, Smith. What are you doing, Socks?
Take it like a raccoon.
What do I want to do? I think
This is a very big moment.
Yeah. I'm surprised you're not over here going, it sucks to be at the other end of a knife, huh?
I haven't got to say what I want to be doing yet.
Oh,
Derek hasn't
All right,
really
so
got
what
to
are
me.
you going to do while this is about to go down?
You know what? That's a great question. The knife. All right.
Yes.
You see Socks is talking to a guy.
No, I don't see this.
You don't.
No, I'm behind the birds.
Why?
I'm gonna shoot an arrow over the birds into the otters.
To try to
Instigate-
entice the fight?
Yes, I'm hopefully aiming at the otters that I know because I looked and I remember which ones. So I'm gonna try a trick shot here,
I was like, you
or
could
target someone. Those are both things. I'm gonna try.
It'd be really funny if you take out that otter. I'm just saying.
Depends on the roll.
I'm just saying that'd be really funny to just die. Thunk. What the hell?
So I would like to shoot an otter, not a lizard called otter.
Oh,
behind
Well,
the
you
birds.
don't know who those people are.
I did.
You're far away.
You're just shooting up
What
in
do
the
you
air
mean?
at the otters. You think you're
there's
gonna have that?
dozens and dozens and dozens of otters all
I
in
want
armor
to target
gear.
someone.
Well, what are you trying to do?
Well, I can do trick shot then. Trick shot's a special when I have that.
Yeah, but mechanically,
I want to pick out
you're
an
not-
otter,
What?
not a lizard called otter. I'm behind the birds. Aren't
Well,
we
the-
like in the town square?
If you're behind the birds, then you can't pick someone out. If you're just blindly shooting an
I'm
arrow,
not blindly. I'm trying to target someone.
so then you're in line of sight and visible.
Maybe I'm on the well that's in town. I don't know. Give me. Maybe I'm high enough to see what's
You're
going on.
on a crumbled wall from
yeah,
that was
on
on
a
top
crate.
of the
Couple crates.
the
Okay.
broken.
Well,
quarters.
let's see if you can get there without being seen or noticed.
I guess I don't really care at the end of the day if I'm seen or noticed.
Okay.
But I want to shoot an arrow and I want to start the fight.
But if you're not noticed,
what's better
But
is-
if you are noticed, they're gonna say
I
he
guess
shot the arrow.
It's better to do a blind. Just do a blind because then no one will know it's me.
All right.
Yeah, you have to do it that way because
Yeah,
otherwise,
'cause I
they
wanna
would
start the
see-
conflict.
Yeah, they would see you and go
Yes.
after
So
you.
trust fate. Roll luck.
Oh, that's actually better than I thought.
Well, because you're not really.
If it was finesse, I'd have been real bad.
So,
All right, trust fate, luck.
Oh,
my god!
Double sixes?
Oh my god!
That's a 14 then technically.
Oh, boy.
all right. Well, that's as good as it gets.
Yeah.
And we're
So-
starting off hot.
So we'll literally do this. Is like, the sergeant's coming up to you. He's like, "So they've surrendered, huh?" And then you're kind of like, you kind of take a moment. You start looking at him, and then he sees that you're the sign of recognition as you notice the dagger on his hilt, and he goes, "Die, infidel!" And he pulls out his dagger, and Socks is kind of like sitting there going like, "How am I gonna kill this man?" When an arrow arcs perfectly from behind the Eyrie dynasty at such an angle and direction that could only have come from the Eyrie troops, naturally, it sails through the air right over Socks's shoulder and boom, thunks itself right into the otter's chest as he looks down in shock at the arrow and staggers backward as this sergeant, sergeant of arms, this leader, staggers backward, falls to the ground, instantly dead with the most insane luckiest shot of all time. The otters, you suddenly hear them signal their war horns, and the otters begin lower their halberds and begin charging across the, or about to charge across the plaza and square.
Chaos.
And the Eyrie dynasties, by the way, have put away their weapons.
They didn't drop them, thankfully.
They did not drop them.
Sucks
an
to be
action.
them.
That's
That's an action to pull out their weapon. I didn't drop mine, so
The guy in front of you just gets shot with an arrow.
All right, Socks, very quickly, as this guy's body literally starts falling to the ground, grabs the dagger off of him, runs in front of the otters, and goes, wait!
Oh, Jesus.
you gonna expose a lizard cult right now? Is that what's happening?
Yep.
Oh shit!
So
Some of you heard not what we thought.
I'm going to
I feel like
say,
it's still going to result in war.
so
Yeah,
I'm
but
going to
now it's
say,
gonna be even more chaotic.
we're going to make this a otter reputation. Well, but some of the otters are lizard folk.
It's got to be like a combined of the two of some sort.
He's positive with lizard, I think.
Are you
too.
positive?
Not like a full number.
What are
but-
what are you with the
Everyone
lizards?
likes me except
The cat.
for the cats,
What is your otter reputation?
which actually is not true. Everyone likes me. I just never erased it because my eraser broke off like 4 sessions ago.
you could have
Cabinet
asked.
eraser. Thanks.
What is your reputation?
Birds. The birds don't like me.
What is your reputation with the otters?
+1.
And what is your reputation with the lizard folk? +1.
0.
Okay,
but
but-
positive.
All right, I will let you sway an NPC.
Okay.
By the otters have a certain amount of respect to you, so roll with your reputation, which is +1. Because it's not really charm, because this isn't just like a one-off
Yeah.
person. It's the whole reputation.
All right. 10.
All right. Wow. Well, that's
The
really
chaos
great.
you tried to commence.
It's crazy.
Well, you might have more chaos though, because if you expose a lizard
On a 7 to 9, use up some of your goodwill, and you would clear prestige, but you don't get that. So on a hit, you can change their mind about the world. Say what you want them to believe.
Any otter that carries one of these is a cult member from the lizards, and they're planning on betraying you and killing you right now.
Damn.
Strike them down, Otter Brothers, for your own life.
Shit.
birds go.
The otters
find
kind
it.
of look, and I got the 10+, so they suddenly
Don't
look,
think, do.
they look as, again, like that scene from Game of Thrones where the otters, the otter lizard cultists, realizing that in this chaos was their time, they've reached down, they've put on golden lizard masks, and it's kind of like a half mask,
That makes it easy.
They've donned the mask.
They don the masks. As they kind of rise back up with the sort of half golden lizard mask on their face, drawing out the lizard cult daggers. By the way, it's those ceremonial daggers
right.
that
We looked them
allow
up.
them to convert the dead into the acolytes. But the otters suddenly turn and they see that Socks is right, that some of their brothers have been converted, some of their brothers and sisters have been converted over to the lizard cult. And if there's one thing that the lizard folk, the Riverfolk company hates, it's nonprofit corporations.
That's pretty good.
You have betrayed capitalism. The otters turn and with halberds and pikes suddenly begin swarming amongst the otters as the lizard folk and the otters within the otter contingent begin fighting. And as you feared, there is now exactly half of the otters.
No. Slightly less than half.
You killed one.
No,
You
you
killed
killed
one.
one.
You killed one. Yes. As they begin, sort of tearing each other and ripping each other apart. Dirt, Lucius, what do we got?
I never left the edge of the forest, but you never let me tell you that. I'm looking for an underground burrow
Okay.
that I can set up for an escape later on.
What does an underground burrow mean?
Are
You
you
know, how
making
animals
one?
burrow underground.
Well, no,
and
the
you can-
animals in this game are all people.
Okay.
Do humans burrow?
An underground escape I would like to create.
How?
Find like a dead tree. Dig
Okay.
out somewhere for me to
So you want to,
cover and fall. Yeah, I don't care what's going on.
You want to
here.
create a dead hideaway.
Yes, so I can work on my escape later on.
Are
Yes,
you,
I
or
want
are you
to-
trying to locate the secret exit from the Fortress of the Birds?
Nope. I just want to be able to
You're just trying not to get caught.
Yeah, I want to eventually blow myself up. So they think I'm dead. And
Oh, you want to fake your own
fake
death?
your own death.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
That is nice.
Derek's like, yeah.
some smoke bombs, some real
And
bombs,
campaign moves.
some dead body parts of
You
people.
better
and some
roll high
clothes I
so that you
pulled
don't
out.
actually blow yourself up.
Yeah, so let's roll with cunning. Let's read a tense situation here, because you're, kind of panically. You're like, this is an opportunity for me to kind of try to get away scot free. So you're kind of at the edge of town, and
It
nice.
would be 10.
Yeah, I knew you had a good cunning. All right, so Dirt, you get to ask 3 of the following questions. It's on your character sheet, or not the weapon moves, the other side.
But I think, yeah.
It's called Read a Tense Situation. And you get to ask 3 of these questions to me, and I will answer them honestly. So whichever 3 you want, and I will go ahead and answer them. Also, by the way, note that he will take +1 if he's acting on those answers. So that means you get a +1 kind of forward.
For the roll and everything.
What is my best way out?
Okay, your best way out, Nick, that was a good suggestion. You find an old abandoned tunnel that was designed for the Duke and his family to be able to escape from the roost and to get out of town, to get down to the water's edge. So it's actually a secret escape hatch or secret dock, that sort of a secret tunnel that leads from the town's interior down to the dock. Now, it looks like it was destroyed in the rubble, but you had suspected that it might be there. So you go looking for it and find that the tunnel is still serviceable, at least for someone your size. You get to ask 2 other questions.
Who or what is the most vulnerable? No.
All of them.
Who or what is the biggest threat?
Ooh, who or what is the biggest threat?
D, all of the above for you.
The Vagabonds.
Yeah, actually, I think you're about right.
Did you say the other Vagabonds?
The Vagabonds.
I mean, at this point, the denizens are afraid of you. The Eyrie dynasty is way too destroyed and chaotic. The otters would probably totally, because you blew up the Starflow. So I would say that, and because of that, you blew up Captain Maggie, the lizard cult.
I was going to say, it's kind of a dual-edged
The
sword.
lizard cult don't want to just kill you. They actually want to perform some sort of horrible ritual to you and basically bind your soul to an eternity of torment in their version of Great Worm Hell. Okay?
Sounds
you
nice.
get to
And
perish on the concrete driveway.
because of their magical rituals, they might be able to scry and find you even if you were to physically escape, which is why they are the greatest threat.
Ooh.
Dirt, third question. You don't have to ask it, by the way, but
Who should I be on the lookout for?
who should you be on the lookout for?
Who's what does he do?
Lucius. Because he might turn you in as a way to secure control of the lizard cult.
Guess that's a thing.
That is valid. Absolutely.
is.
That is valid.
It wasn't before, it is now.
Yeah. By the way, we had a $20 super chat from Caleb. Thank you so much for that incredible support. Happy to catch the finale. If we will fill this bar, do the costumes come rolling out? I don't even know if we have the costumes here.
Mine's here.
I have mine technically in the.
Yeah.
All right, we got the costumes here.
I'm not.
Some
putting
of us do,
anything
yes.
on. It is too hot. It's already hot in here now. I feel like I could be sweating.
You wouldn't do it for the fans?
if
Bob,
we
the
could have
fans.
fans.
Wait, yeah, what fans?
Think about the hype.
Oh, it'd be so much hype.
So
Costume
fill-
hype?
Listen,
Fill up
listen,
both
Caleb.
tip bars and we go for it?
If all the tip bars fill up, we'll definitely consider it. All right, boys. Let us. Thank you, by the way, so much for that, Caleb, and thank you for your support throughout this entire show. Whipple, GM Scott, you guys have been amazing, not just today, but incredibly for the last couple weeks, months. All right, Artemis. So you locate the tunnel.
What I want to do?
Yep, and you know that the lizard cult are going to be looking for you.
Yes, take off all my clothes.
Okay.
Leave everything.
Yeah.
Leave everything strewn around.
This isn't Milltown.
I want to leave whatever value coins I have. Everything I have, I want to leave strewn around.
Okay.
Including the Tinker Box?
Yes.
Oh, new
he's
life.
So when I do go running back into town,
Yeah.
and I come back out, I want to be able to light up my smoke bombs. And after I get down in the tunnel, I want to blow everything up.
Okay.
You are going to run into town naked.
Yeah, is that what you're saying?
So
Yep.
you're going to run into town naked and run out.
I'm not going to run into town, but I'm going to go into town, yes. So I can
Going
be heard.
streaking.
Got it. Okay. So
Will
you're
you being naked be a problem?
All right, I'll wait till I get to take out my clothes.
All right,
I'll leave my clothes on.
So just so I'm clear, you have secured an escape route.
Yes.
and you have created a fake explosion to fake your death.
Yes.
And now you're going to go into town.
He needs
because
people to
nobody
see the
sees
fake
it, they're not gonna
explosion
believe it.
to fake his death.
Got it. So how are you going to? Well, maybe we'll get to that part when we come to that. How what does that fake the death part look like? I'm just kind of curious how that's going to work. But all right,
I have a plan.
Lucius. The otters and the lizard folk have begun tearing each other and killing each other apart. Socks, you're in the middle of this. Vance, the birds.
We're off to the side.
No,
Right?
no. The birds see that the otters have turned on each other, and there's kind of a moment where they're
Just
like,
sitting there watching. Wow, look at them.
No,
go.
they might want to jump, take advantage.
Oh, they're going to take advantage. Absolutely.
the birds are like,
You gonna lead them into battle?
Yeah, why not? At this point, I'd be like, screw it, let's go. Have at it. Defend Sundell. Just to cause more battle. I want to fight some more. Let's go.
You could have him just kill all the otters.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, no.
But then the otters will hate you.
right. Or
But if you kill just the cultists, you'll get to murder people and you're a hero.
Yeah, let's go with that idea. Yeah, join in, kill the cultists. Go, go, go.
all right, so are you
I
are
gotta
you
try to
leading the
lead them.
charge?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Why not?
Oh, no,
Absolutely.
you're the Duke. This is what their natural inclination is. They're not a mood to this.
All right, well, I didn't
you
know
might have
about
had to
that.
made a move to hold them back.
Right.
That's why I'm saying is like, I didn't know I have to do that. Okay.
But if you're leading the charge, they will go with it and full circle.
I'm
So
going full badger rage mode and let's go
the
kill some
lizards,
cultists.
the lizard cultists amongst the otters, clearly visible,
Identifiable, yeah.
identifiable because they have their great worm masks on, and they're pulling out their daggers, trying to kill people. It's a close range melee. And actually, the otters, the Riverfolk company, are kind of a disadvantage because they had all like their halberds and these long reach weapons, for more like. And the lizard cultists are possessed with this kind of fury and rage. Socks, you're right in the middle of it, and then you hear charge. You hear charge. You know that Vance. Maybe the birds, but Vance is definitely charging in. However, you find yourself in the middle of a ferocious melee. Cool. There are lizard cultists and riverfolk warriors all dangling around you, and certainly the lizard cultists kind of leave you alone a little bit because
I picture you like up on like.
Well, no, he's right in the middle.
I'm right in the middle, but everyone's just fighting
watching.
around me.
That's
Right.
what I'm saying. Just watching
but
it
that
happen.
you are actually not being targeted directly because you're kind of
cults
neutral.
Still
with
have the
yeah,
orders, even though I just betrayed them.
you did kind of just betray them, but well, you didn't really. But you didn't really so much betray them as you sort of like
Expose them.
them.
And then told the otters to strike them down.
Oh, that's true. You did. All right.
Yeah, you betrayed him.
The lizard. I forgot that. The lizard. Mark notoriety, but
Somebody's not gonna like you at the end of this.
critical opposition.
Technically, they still like me.
And the lizard cultists hiss at you and lunge at you with their daggers drawn.
Cool. Oh,
Just hold on to it for now.
all right.
So
Well,
what do you do?
Socks tries not to die.
Okay, great.
An immediate concern.
Good
Great.
plan.
How do you do that?
I leap about and try to get out of the current range of people trying to stab me.
Got it. All right. Sounds like maybe make an acrobatics.
Sure.
Roguish feat to try to nimbly dodge and get yourself out of that ferocious hectic melee.
More specifically, are there any? Because the lizards are basically random.
Yeah, it's just interspersed.
Is there anything that resembles a clump of otters?
You mean like a defensive? Wait, they're all otters.
Sorry, otter. I'm speaking in terms of faction.
Official otters.
Well, the Riverfolk company is the faction. In that.
Right.
Okay.
Did any Riverfolk company happen to be grouped together in more than like a pair?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, in fact, the Riverfolk company probably have like formed up into sort of maybe defensive perimeters.
All right. Great. I'm going to take a group that maybe hasn't formed up. I'm going to try to bounce my way over to there.
Okay.
To help them get their shit together.
Okay. Well, you're still being attacked.
Correct.
So
Which
attempt
is
this
why I'm going to try to get the hell out.
attempt this roguish feat to see if you can
This is finesse, right?
Spill stuff.
spill stuff. You know what I blame?
Coaster.
Coaster.
Too high.
That's a 6.
Oh, okay.
Nick, can you go into the secondary room? There's
Yeah, there's a paper towel.
paper towels.
All right. Well,
What'd you do?
he got a 6
Yeah,
minus.
6 minus. Well, Lucius is going to be harrowing some arrows and try to help you.
Do you know what side you're on at this point?
The side of chaos.
Okay.
He just wants to ensue chaos, and I'm kind of along for the ride at this point.
All right.
Plus, you've been helpful to me after that almost killing me incident. You pleaded with me last time.
That's true.
Well, did you? Oh, wait a minute. Narratively, did you go against his wishes?
No, I helped all the denizens.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
we're
all
actually
right,
good
all
at the moment.
Yeah, yeah.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so
I
the
would like
lizard,
to aim.
you tried to, you're
My biggest beef is like if the otters died and no one gets paid, and 2, the cult seems kind of fucked up.
So
I just don't want to get murdered and sacrificed.
you seem overwhelmed for a moment. You're trying to flip out, but they've got you pinned in, and then suddenly, finally, Lucius harries a foe like the first time ever.
Yes, harry a group or whatever. Yeah.
but
That's from far range.
But
You
you're
want me to
doing
go target
this.
someone?
No, you're not doing
Okay.
either of those.
Oh, okay.
You're
just
aiding.
I'm just
Yeah.
aiding, technically.
Yeah, that's just narratively what you're
Yes,
doing.
yes, yes.
So arrows begin dropping in as Lucius finally uses his bow correctly, and the
Finally learned.
the lizard cult otters sort of fall back as arrows fall amongst them. A couple of them taking hits, and you're able to use that opportunity to spring away. But on a 7+. You have to mark exhaustion or a risk comes to bear.
What's the exhaustion, right?
What's that?
I have to mark exhaustion, don't I?
You do because you aided. Yeah, if the risk is because before you were talking about how like casual you had it, your bow breaks in the middle of this. Not like permanently, but like the string breaks as you're sort of
And remember, you
acrobatically
sold,
fleeing for your life.
you sold your sword.
I'm
so that
aware of
is-
my weapon.
Or you
that
can
is
mark an
your
exhaustion
weapon.
to avoid having the
He
risk
does
come
have
to
the
bear.
ceremonial
my bow
dagger,
break.
though.
All right, sounds good. All right.
Oh, that's a good point. You do have the ceremonial dagger in your hand.
So as you're flipping away, you kind of, it's probably actually cooler than that. Like people are attacking you. You don't have a sword. So you're actually using Pepe Le Pew to like Robin Hood people with the bow, like treating it like a bow staff.
Kinda sweet.
And like,
This thing's made out of fucking metal, so.
right, right.
true.
It's made of metal. So you kind of block, and then another cut comes in and you turn your bow. They cut right through the string. And then like the bowstring is sort of like, flapping there and you kind of spin the thing around and whoosh, crack someone in the face with the bowstring. And they're like,
Now it's a whip.
yeah, it's like a whip on the end of a metal flexible
finesse.
rod.
String's metal, too.
So some weird new weapon. But you're able to get over to the other side. So you see that Socks is able to break away and make his way into a safety of a group of otters who begin forming up around him. The Riverfolk Company, at least for the time being, feel like you're someone they can trust.
Yeah, I figured that.
And so they start kind of forming up pockets. As Vance, you come charging in.
Oh yeah, I'm charging in, and this is where when the negotiations. I put the Excalibur away, and this is where I'm going with the full greatsword out, and this one to hack and slash and storm the group basically.
Storming the group.
Storming the group.
Large mob. Okay, they've got 6 boxes of injury.
Oh shit!
They've got 3 boxes of.
I'm glad I got 6 boxes of injury too.
They've got 3 boxes of wear. All right. Well, this is a massive group that you are charging into.
But I'm assuming I'm getting some help with the otters and stuff. It's not just me versus all of them and my bird.
No, it's you and the
my
birds.
bird fellows.
And the otters are not targeting you.
right.
Because you're targeting the cultists.
Yeah, so they're somewhat distracted too.
But
Yeah.
this is your push. So.
Oh,
So
absolutely. No.
what I will do is I will kind of. But remember, there's a lot less birds than there is.
There are a lot less birds, but with the birds and the Riverfolk, we do outnumber the lizard.
That is true. Right. That is true. But those two forces haven't like joined sides yet.
No, but they have a common enemy that they're.
But what
the
I
enemy
will
of my
do
enemy is my friend. Right?
Is I instead of treating this as a large mob, I will treat this as a small mob.
Okay.
For your purposes, basically, like the
I'm going after a section of
yeah.
it.
So
not,
instead of taking on 40, you're taking on like 7.
Okay.
Okay. This is just you.
Okay.
Okay. So go ahead.
Bring it on.
So you already said so. What does that look like as your character storms this group
So, like
with
I said, I'm just
greatsword?
pulling out the greatsword, coming at him, and just to battle, just screaming and going right for it, similar to how we approached the beach to take out the birds in the.
All right. So you're going in, praying and swinging. All right. Go ahead and roll. I think we gave you mastery with this, didn't we?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So that only happens if you get a 12+.
I got 11.
Oh.
I was close. Oh, but wait.
Socks goes. Wedge the cultists between the birds and the badger. Push them in.
All right. So
That's a good strategy.
yeah, that is a great strategy. All right. So the
pincer maneuver,
Yeah,
I like
a
it.
little pincer maneuver, flanking maneuver. All right. Socks with his broken bow is leading them in. The otters begin to reform around Socks, and they're like trained
Right.
unit
You
soldiers.
are the new otter skipper. I become the duke, and you've taken over as skipper. What is going on? My faction.
They lower their pikes and their spears, and they begin kind of forcing them against. It's kind of a hammer and anvil tactic, and except the birds are. They're a powerful force, but it's really Vance who is
A
sort
big
of
ass badger coming
just-
your way,
yeah,
man.
this easily a foot or 2 higher than all the other animals here. The massive badger kind of crashes through, and with that exhaustion, with that aid, that takes you up to a 12. Your mastery triggers, which means you get all 4 things of
Yeah. So inflict 2 morale.
right, but one of them is doubled.
Right. And I have to do an exhaustion to double that, right? I have to do an exhaustion 1 to use
Well,
the
you have to use
move.
an exhaustion to use the move.
Yes.
Before you even rolled. And then you have 4 options. You get to pick all of them. One of them costs another point of exhaustion, but one of those 4 effects, you can double its effects.
Right. So
let's go down the order.
All right. So top one. You show them up, you inflict 2 morale.
Okay. So are you going to double that one?
No.
Okay. So they're going to take 2 morale. Okay. What else? Next one.
You keep them off balance and confused. You inflict 2 exhaustion.
Okay.
Not going to double that one.
Got it.
You avoid their blows to the best of your ability. You suffer little harm, so -1 harm to that. I'm
Okay.
assuming I'll probably get, 2 harm?
You are going to be getting two injury.
Or 2 injury, yeah. So I'll take the 1 injury.
Okay. And then the 4th one.
You use them against each other, mark exhaustion again, and they inflict their harm against themselves.
Got it. So you're going to mark another exhaustion. Is that the one you're doubling?
I'd have to mark another exhaustion
Yes.
on that one, too.
But that's you going in.
Yeah.
Like, I won't even lie to you, Nick. If you do that twice, they're gone.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do that one. It's the only thing that makes sense with the massive chaos
That's
that's
how
going on.
Barbarian rages.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
This barbarian's so much cooler than a Pathfinder.
All right.
And
So,
there was no map attack.
all right. So you mark
much
a total of 3 exhaustion.
3 exhaustion. So I have 2 exhaustion left.
Right.
So much exhaustion.
He's still
I'm
good,
exhausted,
though. He
man.
can still fight.
Yeah, I still got 2 exhaustion.
Now, remember, I cannot stress this enough. This is for people at home. If you're playing Root and you decide to pick this up, one thing, and in fact, Aaron tried to teach these guys last week. Exhaustion is sort of like your energy bar, right? It kind of really powers a lot of your ability to aid people, to avoid roguish feats, having a downside,
Yeah.
to do your cool weapon moves.
Lots
That
of
is
ways to
why
recover it.
every
Oh, absolutely.
character has a way that they can instantly cure their exhaustion track.
Just
Would
waiting
you-
to steal something?
I was gonna say, would you say in this case I would be defending Smith in the beginning, in the middle of the
No,
fight?
you were definitely charging an attack. But
I tried.
But this is one of the reasons why you want your nature to really reflect things that are going to happen to you a lot, or the type of actions you're going to take a lot, because it is a very useful way to cure exhaustion. I'm not saying you did that badly. I'm just saying that, when people talk about the
So
exhaustion.
what you should do now is look for opportunities to clear your
Oh,
exhaustion.
absolutely.
Exactly.
And this is where, like I said, the one nature that I have is defender. So that's
Right.
where it's like,
So you
am I
wanna look for
defending?
opportunities
All
to
right,
defend them.
Nick. Vance charges in at the forefront. His strides are like twice that of the birds. So you quickly outpace them. It's like Captain America and the Black Panther and Infinity War.
yeah.
How they're just ahead of the entire rest of their host. And he gets to the close, jumps up into the air, lands in the middle, and then begins swirling and attacking. Any lizard cultist that comes near you is quickly cut down as you spin and hack amongst them. The birds quickly come in behind you and begin dealing with dozens of these lizard folk cultists as you've been seeing the glint of spears as Socks, broken bow in hand, begins wading his way as the Riverfolk otters begin sort of forming up around him. Lucius, so there's a ferocious, battle occurring on the town square. You're at the far end of it, having shot off your foes and helped Aaron with some harrying to get him out of to safety. What do you do from your position?
Nothing.
Okay.
My work here is done.
That's pretty cool. I really want to go in
there
and
eating
Sails off into the sunset.
I want to go and loot the bodies, but it seems a little tense right now. So I'll wait.
What about you, Artemis? What do you got for us? Anything?
I'm walking back into town.
Okay.
Clothed.
Clothes.
Clothed. Okay. But with the plot ready. All right. So Artemis.
Yes.
He was on a bender last night.
Stumbles. in.
Artemis, you finally arrive on the scene, and you see, much as everyone else has seen, there's a ferocious melee. And obviously, Aaron's actions and Nick's actions are taking place over the course of 5 to 10 minutes as they sort of are fighting against these hundreds of people all squabbling in the
This
in the
wasn't
town
just
square.
1 30-second.
No, this was not one. This was not 1 6-second
Or
round.
6-second round.
So they're kind of in the middle of it. Aaron, you're in the middle of a ferocious melee. I'm gonna have to ask you to engage in melee. Seems only
Yeah,
appropriate.
that's fine. At some point
So
when
now
I
the
kill someone,
otters
can I
are-
like pick up a sword or something?
Are the
You
lizard
have the
down?
lizard
I do,
dagger in your
I do.
hand.
Okay, I'll dual wield. I'm a ranger. Look at me.
I'm Tritz Stewarded.
All right, Aaron, roll with might.
Hey, I know that guy.
6, 7.
Oh, perfect. So you've engaged in melee. You get to pick one, Aaron. Do you inflict an additional harm? Do you suffer one less harm? Or you can shift your range, or you can impress, dismay, or frighten your foe. I will say
How much harm am I looking at?
it's just one guy. It's kind of like this is all like a more one-to-one thing situation. So it's just one harm.
I'll take that on my armor.
Okay.
And Sox is a dismayer and breaker of hopes.
Yeah.
You know, unless on the killing side.
Yeah.
Killing's
Exactly.
more about business.
Agreed.
So,
I got it.
yeah.
All right. So you obviously inflict harm to him, which will just be like 1. And I'll probably actually make it an exhaustion because you're attacking with your bow. It's more of a beating weapon than a killing weapon.
It's a blunt.
But
Weapon used on children.
but
Parenting tips by
Oh,
Sox.
no, this is the last episode.
Yeah, one way or another.
but yeah, the cultist is kind of shocked by your masterful display. He's barely able to hit you. You take
Not
it
even
right
taking
in
the combat seriously because I'm using a broken stick.
Right, you're using a broken bow as your primary combat weapon. So yeah, he begins falling back to the center, and so do a lot of the lizard folk around him. And so they're starting to get closed in and collapse. You can now see that Vance has created a hole, and the Eyrie soldiers have sort of filled it in. They've got their long swords out. Then they're kind of attacking and hacking. The lizard cultists, the element of surprise has been completely lost. The Riverfolk otters have sort of rallied around you. Bob, it looks like Sox and Vance are going to kill all the lizard folk cultists.
Okay.
All right. Well, there's nothing.
It paves the way for him to officially take over because remember they figured him out.
Narratively, you guys have got him in the double pincer. You secured just your side. You secured your side.
I mean, I don't know what I would do here. I'd like start shooting
You
more
don't have
birds
to-
and otters. I'm like, that seems
The
illogical.
lizard folk, the battle rages for another few minutes, and when it's all said and done, every lizard folk cultist mask wearing otter is dead. The Eyrie dynasty lost a handful of soldiers. Obviously the Riverfolk company lost more because there was that initial period of initial surprise and ambushing, and there are a number of Riverfolk company otters who are laying with grievous wounds or slit throats, who will not be able to recover.
Can I sneak in and get one of the masks?
Sure, there's like 50 of them.
Sweet.
But it's not really stealing anything valuable, so no.
I know. I want to just have it.
Oh, well, you
gonna-
probably already have one.
No,
I already have one. Sweet. Just more things that can prove my
And,
lizard efficientness.
and
except
as-
for
and-
actually knowing what the religion is about.
So you guys kind of watch this happen, and then
Like, he never actually reads the books.
and then there's like this quiet, tense moment, and the Riverfolk, company, or kind of like the Eyrie dynasty are like huzzah, and then the Riverfolk company lower their weapons at the Eyrie dynasty.
Now, hasn't there been enough death today?
We've got a contract to fulfill. You know that.
Does the contract stipulate that you have to slaughter all the birds?
Eyrie dynasty forces.
Read the print.
What's it say specifically?
Where's the fine print?
Drive the Eyrie forces out of Sundell. Are they going to leave?
And they gotta leave.
The Eyrie soldiers. Now the Eyrie soldiers are kind of looking at you like, we just fought for our home. This is our territory. This is our land. This is the dynasty. We've already lost a roost. We've already lost it. Everything.
Here's the thing. I have a feeling that Sundell's the least of your concerns right now.
What could you possibly mean?
I feel like this might have been the launch of a coordinated attack. So how about this? How about a deal? Because otters don't want to be in debt. And right now, you're a little in debt. Why don't you give the birds safe passage through Milltown to get back to their own land?
The Eyrie dynasty kind of looks around. They are still outnumbered, but they have you.
So it's pretty big.
and you're a big force. So Nick, I'm going to say it's up to you. The Eyrie dynasty will take their cues from you. Now, this is an opportunity for Vance.
Yeah.
If you want to, you could become a legend amongst your people, your new people, and renounce your vagabond ways, or you can send them on their way.
I'm gonna send them on their way. I don't want anything to do with it. I'm telling you guys, go back to what was it, Open Sky Haven?
Do you elect a new leader of the group?
So Nick, roll with charm as you try to persuade the NPC to listen as you say.
6.
Great.
There they go. F you.
No, so one of the underlings says, "The rights of succession must be followed."
Oh, they're gonna duel you
Well, then I'm gonna just slaughter them all. I mean, shit.
one by one.
One by one. You guys, you saw what I did to the.
If you will not be our leader, then I cannot allow you to continue to wield Excalibur. Hand the weapon over, and we will depart.
I'm gonna aid him.
Oh,
What does that put him up to?
7.
Oh, that does put you to a 7?
Yeah, that was a 6.
I'm gonna
Sock steps in front.
anti-8 him.
Oh!
That's actually a move.
That is actually a move.
Yeah, hit,
It's called Help or Interfere.
Yeah.
Mark Exhaustion. Another Vagabond adds +1 or -2 to their roll.
-2.
Mark another
How?
Exhaustion if you wish to conceal your help.
Mark, I can't mark an exhaustion. I can't. I have to.
that means
How does Lucius do this? Since Lucius said he wasn't.
Yeah, that's what does that look
involved here?
like?
I was thinking about just starting to fire some arrows in and
just into the fight again.
pausing.
I don't think that
cast,
would, but that one really wouldn't affect the negotiation. Like that.
Yeah. I want to.
So if you're not in a position to do so, but I mean, obviously, there's enough time for your character to have made their way over here. But you need to have like,
Yeah,
what are you?
I mean, I was behind the
Remember,
Eyrie.
Nick is trying to convince these people to leave. He missed, which means
Oh, I got an idea.
I get to make as hard a move as I want.
Right.
And one of the options is make them an offer to get their way. The
All right.
offer is hand over Excalibur, renounce your title, give it to this, baron.
The next up in line. Or
What if
so.
I say?
Oh, so they don't have to fight.
No.
You just okay. Yeah, maybe I'll withhold my 8 then.
Okay.
Excellent. Then I don't have to do anything.
All right. So we
You
rewind.
seem like you're in a bad spot there.
Yeah, I
Bob.
don't even know if
wanted
you
to
were
guess
going to be able to. I don't even know if you were going to be able to do that.
I
you were-
had one exhaustion.
you
I
were
don't think
struggling.
Yeah, I don't know what you would have narratively done to help.
Actually, I
that.
was thinking about saying if you weren't going to lead them, I was going to lead them into battle.
No, he's saying.
No, I'm not leading them into the battle.
I know.
Oh, you were going
I
to
was
try to
gonna
actually
do-
have them
I was-
fight with the otters.
I would love that.
Bob just wants to stir shit up.
Wait till he hands out Excalibur over, shoot him in the face with it.
So do you hand over Excalibur to the Baron, and then he's saying, and then renounce your title?
Oh, I can renounce the title. I don't give a shit about the title, but I ain't giving you the sword.
Well, use 6 minus. That's the only way they'll listen.
So if they don't, then they're probably going to want to fight the otters. Then basically,
Well,
They want to commit suicide.
no, they do not want to, abandon their position, their town, and they're
that's
looking.
what I mean. So they're looking to potentially, if they won't go back,
at this
they're
point,
going to try to
at
fight.
this point, the Riverfolk company is half dead because they were all lizard companies, and the Riverfolk took more casualties than the birds because they had Big Daddy Vance.
the birds are outnumber the otters. Then.
They sure do.
Oh, okay. I thought the otters still outnumber them.
No,
Oh, well, that's a different story.
Half
then.
the otters
Okay.
were dead because they were
Yeah,
lizard
yeah, yeah,
cultists,
okay.
and then more of the Riverfolk company got killed than the warriors because you led the charge and you took all the
well, then
advanced
that
hits.
changes my answer completely. Then I'm not going to say abandon. Then I'm going to say, yeah, otters, you got to leave. They still got the.
But then you're not getting your
Violates the
contract.
contract.
That guy blew up. That guy got boom.
Yeah, but now they're survivors.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying now.
So you're in a so
damned if I do, damned if I don't. I was trying to make the most of a situation. The dice let me down.
all right. Well,
You could give the sword that you don't care about.
Yeah,
for
I'll
them.
just give him the sword then. All right, take the sword and get the hell out of here.
all right.
It's more
Let's
burden
roll.
than it is.
Have the Excalibur power.
Didn't really help me much.
Now
Oh, do it, and I'll kill him and take it back and go. Okay, all right, you guys see how that
Who's
worked
next?
out?
Who's next?
You guys can just leave, and I'm keeping the damn sword. Now go.
Can I go steal the other sword?
the other sword's been gone for a long
Yeah,
time.
dude, they don't-
You gave that away at
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, in Underleaf.
No, I want to steal White Talon.
White Claw.
White Claw.
You want to steal? Steal?
No. That's
on his body.
That's mine by right because I took that
wanna
too.
steal it.
So I have White Claw and I have
I
that.
never heard you say that.
You never did say
I
you
did
took it.
it. All right.
It's not really
Did he
stealing
actually
it. You
cast
just
I
take
take out his
spell.
body.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now
right.
I have White Claw.
Okay.
right.
Excellent.
Whatever. I still got my great sword. That's all. That's all I
right.
need.
So Vance, you hand over Excalibur.
So yeah, all right, get the hell out of
To
here. before you guys get
Baron now Duke.
annihilated.
I will lead our people in retreat. You have fought honorably this day, Riverfolk Company, and we respect your combat prowess. Vagabonds. And they kind of look over and they say,
Till we meet again.
we may have glossed over some of our past atrocities, but you we will never forgive. If we see you again, know that your end comes at the end of a rope.
I turn around,
Yeah.
moon them, and start running out of town.
Cutest little butt.
Are you trying to provoke them?
Are you trying to get them to chase you?
That is an action. Draw attention. Dirt, roll with your reputation. Treat it as positive. Your reputation has to be -2 or greater. Is it?
With everyone except for the cat. Yeah.
What is your reputation with the Eyrie Dynasty? -2, -3.
That would be maxed out, yes.
-3.
All right, so roll with +3 as you attempt to draw attention to. Oh yeah, easily 11. All right.
Please tell me you blow him up and then get the
So,
sword back.
Dirt. The faction employs significant military strength to chase you down.
So that's
this
all of them.
battalion.
They also deploy an available, capable NPC agent. So the newly elected Baron says, brothers, sisters, we must regain some of our honor. We will bring him back and to face Eyrie dynasty justice. And the Eyrie forces begin chasing Artemis out of town.
Fox is like,
Why did Artemis just do that?
I
Go running.
was like,
Oh, no. Well, they're chasing you. Now the question is, can you get away?
well, I immediately take out my greatsword and I strike the Baron down then.
Jeez Louise.
No, I'm absolutely like he's gonna go after one of the vagabonds. Screw that! I gave you a chance to get out. You're not gonna take it. Shoop. I'm taking him out from behind. Then
Murderer.
Okay.
I'm defending. I'm defending Artemis here.
Well, I mean, Artemis was mooting them. That is true.
Artemis did provoke them.
You want me to just let him go then?
I'm not your.
I'm like, if you're not gonna take
I'm
a
sure you have all the
retreat-
information.
I'm just saying, you know that Dirt has a plan.
All right, now I'll let it go then.
Yeah. All right, Artemis. The Eyrie dynasty begin forcing you and chasing you out of town. The Riverfolk company look around and go, well, that was a strange way to do it, but
They're gone.
they're gone. Artemis.
Birds flew the coop.
So you're rushing, and running around. You're trying to lose them or keep them.
I want to keep them right before I get to the tunnel. I would like to set off my smoke bombs.
Okay.
And then when I get to the tunnel, I'm going to strip naked, leave all my stuff around.
Can you go for a walk?
So let me get
Scatter
this
everything.
straight. They're chasing you.
I'm running.
And
Smoke
then,
bombs.
and all of a
Slow them
sudden,
down, slow them up.
and all of a sudden, smoke bombs begin deploying, and then they're going to come to a tunnel, and they're going to see you.
There's not going to be a tunnel because I'm setting up the explosion.
Got it. So when they
Cover
make their way
everything up.
out of the smoke
all
bomb,
All I see is all my shit strewn around.
Got
a bunch
it.
of quills strewn around. Maybe some bloody body parts that I found somewhere.
all right,
just lying
Never
around the
mind.
it
battlefield.
shouldn't be an issue.
Is that a lizard mask?
You probably are proficient at this. Attempt a roguish feat. Roll with finesse.
+2.
All right.
That'd be a 5.
Oh,
Are you sure you didn't
No,
want me to
it's
try to
a
kill that
6.
guy?
Your plan works too well.
Sorry, it's still 6. Doesn't matter.
all right.
Wait.
Well, Lucius, they are you were the only person in position to potentially help Dirt escape.
Yeah, I feel like I can slow them down by shooting them.
Remember that offer I had to kill
I mean, if
the
they're getting
guy?
lost in the smoke bombs, that's what he's trying to do.
Right, he's trying to
slow
lose them
down.
in the smoke bombs. Yeah.
So I'm gonna help out.
How do you help out? How do you help them? But remember, it's not about killing them.
I don't care if I kill him.
It's not about. I'm saying, how are you making it so that he gets away?
Well, I would think if a slew of arrows are coming from the backside of them, they will.
Their
stop.
attention will go
Yeah.
elsewhere.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're gonna try to like harry them, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I'm using my bow and arrow. I mean,
Okay.
I don't really care if I hit anybody. I'm just like, hey.
Okay, well, that works. Mark an exhaustion. Dirt, you escape through the smoke and the debris. A couple of the Eyrie Dynasty forces turn around and they charge Lucius. They quickly surround you.
Sweet.
And the new Baron says, enough. You have betrayed us long enough. Artemis, Lucius, we hereby summarily charge you with treason and betrayal. And I, newly anointed Duke of Sundell, do sentence you to die. And he draws out Excalibur.
Okay.
And the Eyrie guards begin, grabbing you and pushing you to the ground.
Well, I'm gonna. Before they do that, I was gonna plea for my life.
Okay, well that's plead with a PC.
Well,
no, you have a
I have
move.
a charm offensive. Yeah.
Okay,
So
well-
in like a fight, I can hopefully create an opening.
All right, what is this called?
Charm offensive, so I can use cunning instead of like strength and stuff like that. And in this encounter here, what's going to happen?
Remember, what is happening narratively though? I'm more
trying
interested
to
in that.
Plead with them to create an opening where I can get away.
But what would that pleading possibly look like?
More like
Show us, Bob. Like big for real.
Right, because remember, in order to use this ability, you have to play upon an enemy's insecurities, concerns, or fears.
Oh, I don't have any. There's been no fear.
Now you can still do what you're describing,
Yeah.
but it's not going to trigger this move. In order to do it, you have to do it.
You had to be elected by default. You couldn't challenge the badger to a fight.
I don't know if I want to. Yeah. maybe I can just obviously just plead for my life with Desperate Smile then. Which doesn't mean I need to do anything.
Nope. When you trust fate to see you through by begging, pleading, or abasing yourself.
That's basically where we're at.
Yes.
Okay.
Which
so,
I use luck then.
Okay. Yeah. So you're what is
Both of them are good.
What
+2.
what does you begging, pleading, or abasing yourself look like?
What does abasing mean?
Basically means like I'm nothing. I'm worthless. I'm scum. I am the bottom of the barrel. I'm a nobody.
You don't want to waste.
I'm a
dirty your
fucking
blade
loser.
on me.
You don't even want to dull your blade on me.
For sure doing that.
I kind of see this in the distance. I'm like tapping Otter.
Yeah. You look.
Oh yeah.
You look pathetic.
Yes. Absolutely. No shame.
Right. Right.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Roll with luck. Oh no, roll with charm instead of luck.
And charm instead of
Because
luck.
you're trusting fate.
Yes. At the time, I didn't have any luck when I had this ability, and
Got
then
it.
I ended up getting luck. But
Yeah.
anyway, charm is what I'm using.
Got it.
Oh, 13.
You're so
You
pathetic,
lucky,
like-
charming bastard. How are you still alive?
This is how he's still alive.
He always just weasels his way out of it.
Right. I should
Are
have
you
been,
sure
I should
you're
have been
not
a
a
weasel.
weasel?
Should've been a
So-
weasel.
At the last minute, one of the Eyrie dynasties who saw that you got the denizens out grabs the new Duke's wrist claw and he says, "Do not make the same mistakes that White Claw made. We are better than this.
Oh, you could have given him White
This vagabond is homeless,
Can I give them White Claw?
friendless."
Because remember, he took
have the
that
sword
off.
now.
Yeah, he took
Yeah,
that
they
off.
got Excalibur. They don't really care
I
about
don't know
that.
about the sword then.
All right.
Actually, as part of you being captured, they probably took all your stuff off of you.
All my stuff?
Yeah.
Like my bow?
And your mask.
Yeah.
And my
your,
lizard
and your
robes?
medallion
Yeah.
and your
And your
robes,
medallion.
everything. Oh, that's a good question. Do they find that and try to kill you
Well,
for
because
your robes?
remember, when you trust fate, even if you hit, there's always a cost. And so the cost is you get out of it, but they take all your possessions.
Hey,
and they
that's-
Even when I
basically,
get 13?
yep. Even with unless
Unless you had, is there a
You
mastery
do get
for
an
that?
opportunity
Yeah.
though.
that is true. There is an opportunity.
I want to steal something back of mine. Then.
Okay, that
I don't give him everything. I was hiding
no,
something.
I got it.
Yeah.
You have an opportunity to steal Excalibur.
Yes, yes. Oh my God,
That seems
dude.
like a big thing to steal.
Yeah, but then you can officially
no.
potentially challenge them and take over.
All right, I try to steal
Turns out there was
Excalibur.
a second replica.
All right, well, yeah. As I'm handing stuff over between the chaos of switching things and the denizen talking to them, somehow, they don't see that I pocketed it back.
Well, no, you have to make a check. It gives
I
you
know.
an opportunity.
This is what I'm trying to do.
Okay, well, make a roguish feat to
Pocketed it.
pickpocket.
I have that.
Pocketed the sword. Yeah,
All right,
no
so
one will
this
notice.
this is rolling with finesse because this is attempting a roguish feat.
It's like the worst thing I could do. I'd rather be trusting fate.
You're gonna roll a 9.
Oh, 11! So good today.
All right, on a hit, what you wanted to risk comes. You achieve your goal, and no risk comes to bear.
They don't even
so
know.
they disarm.
he has
So in the
Excalibur.
process of them basically saying like they agree to spare your life, but they exile you for all time from any Eyrie dynasty clearing, and promise you with death should you ever
sounds about
return.
right.
And then as they are stripping him of his gear, he manages to, kind of groveling at the foot of the new Duke. And while he is distracted with the kind of, talking to his men, you manage to steal back Excalibur. Now, to be clear, remember, Excalibur was never like a great sword.
Yeah,
it was more of
it's
like,
like a
a
rapier.
fencing rapier.
Right.
So
That's
it's a
what
little
I'm
bit.
saying. It's just like a
Yeah,
slide it
you
out
just
of the
kinda
sheath.
And you're like, okay. And then the Eyrie dynasty kind of turned back, and then
They explode.
a massive. They're like, no, not on the other side of town. The denizens go, no, not again.
That sounds you out.
What's it mean?
And the Eyrie forces rush over along with anybody else who wants to come along, as another explosion has people run towards explosions naturally, and so everyone looks down around the corner, and you see that there is another building which has been blown up. It looks like Artemis was trying to do his usual chaos bullshit. However, you see the Vagabonds trademark glasses and steampunk little hat.
Glasses has got a crack in it.
The glasses have a crack in them as they lay amongst the debris, and you can see that there's a big crater in a collapsed building, and everyone looks around. Dirt,
It's like hide?
do you have
Well, yeah, what's
'Cause he has
what's
high.
the move for fake your own death?
what roguish feats do you have?
Counterfeit, disable device, hide, sneak, pickpocket, sleight of hand.
Okay,
Well,
those
he
are
counterfeit his life.
yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
There's enough combination over there.
He counterfeited the body.
A roguish feat. Roll with finesse to see if you can successfully pull off this caper. Oh, nothing nice.
9.
Perfect. All right. So there is a risk, or you can mark an exhaustion to ignore the risk. And the risk will be that you are presumed dead, but there's still some doubt, and people think that you may have gotten
So if I
away.
mark exhaustion,
Then they are all convinced that you are dead. All right, Artemis.
Artemis is dead.
You convince everyone that you're dead, including your teammates, and they are convinced that you finally got caught up and got killed. And there's even some
It's a good way to go, though. You know,
There's
the way
It's the way. I was saying, it's the way he would want
well,
to go.
there's even some debate whether or not it was the denizens who killed him.
I was gonna say, were there any of the? Was that where the people they evacuated? Was that the area they went to?
No.
Okay.
No. Like I said, they were on the other side of town.
Oh, okay.
So Artemis, you sneak away through the secret escape tunnel, and you fake your death and abandon Sundell. Bob, you have been
cleared exhaustion.
You have
I'm kleptomaniac.
Sure, that is accurate. Bob, you are exiled from Sundell. The Eyrie dynasty agreed to leave. They don't realize they don't have Excalibur, so the Eyrie forces.
So you had? Oh no, you had to give up White Claw though. They have that. 'cause
Yeah, they have
took
White
it.
Claw. Yeah.
The Eyrie forces are going to head down to Milftown. The Otter forces have been depleted significantly. And all that is left now in Sundell is a sort of a ragtag group of about 30 or 40 Otter mercenaries.
Hey, mission's done here, guys. Let's go.
There's still, there's obviously still the smoking remains of the Star Flow just off the coast in the Great Lake, along with another maybe dozen of Otter ships. But the Otters turn to you and they say, well, job successful.
Where's that money?
Otters do pay their debts. Unfortunately, obviously,
How much do we owe you?
the Star Flow
Ledgers on the boat.
blew up, and I don't really have access to those ledgers. Now, if he did his due diligence, Skipper Magny, before he went down, would have filed an official copy back up at Patchwood. So
I know the skipper was in on it.
you know the skipper was a lizard cultist.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, you know that.
Ooh, yeah. I'm feeling like the head of the secret lizard cult probably wasn't doing his paperwork for the voyage.
Wait. Are you saying Skipper Magny?
Yeah.
That's why Artemis blew him up. Makes
Wait.
sense now.
Artemis blew up the Star Flow because he was a lizard cultist?
Apparently.
What a hero.
I was like, that's what I would deduce from that. I was like, he knew. Somehow Artemis found out and he blew him up because of it.
I can't believe that our organization was infiltrated so easily by the lizard cultists. Well, I'll tell you one thing for sure. We've got those lizard cultists on the run now. There's no chance.
I don't know. If you look at the map, I don't know about that.
The paper comes in tomorrow.
Either way, we're going to spend the rest of the day here setting up base of operations. We've got some supplies that we still need to move off of. If the ledger is destroyed, and it actually sounds like potentially Skipper Magny may have been pulling one over on you guys for the whole time. I'm sorry to say, that might not be honored by the Riverfolk Company if he was secretly actually not acting in the Riverfolk Company's thing. There, you see,
did make out like a bandit then.
Subparagraph 3, clause B says that in the event that a person is not operating in good faith, the contract is null and
Always read the
void.
fine print.
Listen, I already got paid, so this really isn't my fight. I'm just going to give you some last bit of advice. The Badger doesn't care about the words. So what you do with that information is up to you, friend.
I see. And I'm assuming that if we do not give him any money, he will beat us badly.
There's a pretty
Not
strong
beat.
lightning.
Hold on a sec. What do you got? What do you got over there? Okay.
They start pooling their money.
They come back and they go, we have 12 value of coin total here. And he hands it over to the Vagabonds.
That's a good down payment. We'll come back for the rest.
Very reasonable. Right? Isn't he being reasonable?
The Otter pays their debts.
That's more than fair.
Bought you time for now, but we will collect.
It's so great when we all get together.
You hear the crunch of a boat on the shore as another series of riverboat. No, actually, as it kind of arrives, you can see that there's a bunch of Riverfolk people kind of tying it down at the edge of the ship, and they've sort of put a ladder or like a cargo net over the side so people get off. And you see an unexpected sight.
Is it Gunvold?
No.
Oh, that'd been sweet.
You see the
it the
sort of
squirrel?
fancy flowing blue cloak and cape of the remarkably well-dressed, and there's a couple of them, as they quickly and easily scamper down the... That's,
Aiden.
this is the cats,
Violet.
led by ATM.
Ah, I knew it.
He had to make one more appearance.
Bonjour,
He was
mon
behind
ami.
everything the whole time.
It was Agatha all along.
Bonjour, mon ami.
I should have waited.
Oh, that's right. You're friends with them, aren't you?
Sundell is ours. Underleaf. Well, that is to be taken another day. But you did a good job. The Marquis de Cat has finally arrived. Unfortunately, the woodland is in chaos. The lizard cult has taken over not just Pashwood, but Windgap Refuge, Underleaf, Fire Hollow, Iron Vein.
Who is this called?
Exactly. Who is this
What did
cult?
you do, Lucius?
They are a powerful force of foreign invaders. However, do not let that be a concern. The Marquis Set is here.
Another force of powerful invaders.
Yes, but we do not hate you. And in
No, because we
fact,
helped you.
Here is your invisibility cloak.
Yes.
Each of you acquires a Marquis Set
Artemis comes out of his hole.
invisibility
I
cloak.
won.
Oh,
Can I see the cloak?
No, it's invisible.
It's a shower cap.
no,
or
so
shower
the way
curtain.
I mean, I don't know.
the way the invisibility cloak works is it has two wear boxes. And it doesn't really matter because the campaign is ending.
I don't
But
care. I'm still writing it down.
If you roll a 6- on a hide or sneak check, you can mark a wear to bump it up to a 7, 8, 9.
Oh, I already have a power. Let's redo this.
Oh, do you really? So your character is as good. All right. Well, I'll let you say you can bump it up to a 10 plus. Right. But you have to use both.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, it's like if the invisibility cloak has wear, you can basically always make sure that you're succeeding.
hiding, yeah.
Somewhat hiding. Still, the war is going to be very, very long. The Eyrie dynasty have
That's optimistic.
the Eyrie dynasty have been pushed back into Open Sky Haven. However,
They still have Clutcher's Creek, though, don't they?
no,
No. What happened to my homeland?
it is unknown. But all contact with Clutcher's Creek was lost.
Until next time.
It is currently unknown. Bob, go ahead and remove both tokens from Clutcher's Creek. We have been cut off. However, the Marquis Sate has been reinforced from our homeland, Le Monde du Cat. The Imperatrix of the cat people herself has given us a royal charter, and now we have the funds and the means to finally take back the woodland. And the rise of this lizard cult, very conveniently for us cats, provides us with the, how do you say, we are the good guys to come in and save the day.
You're welcome.
Yes, you have performed your role excellently, Vagabonds. And it is a shame that your friend Artemis did not live to see this. We heard about his unfortunate demise. Do not pour that out. That's good stuff. Anyway, so, the Marquis Sate has a place for all of you. If you are willing to swear fealty to the Marquis Sate and the Marquise, we would love to have you be part of this. Certainly, you have proven your valor against the lizard cults, and they will be looking for you, and they will find you. And from what I've heard, it is not a good thing. So, any takers?
Hard pass.
Say, you can employ us temporarily for a fee. We swear allegiance to no one.
Ah, so you're already looking for another job, huh? What about you, Socks?
Yeah, you know, the knees, they just don't bend that well. Never have.
Oh, got it.
Oh, this is 300.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, the Marquis Sate would love for you to journey to Clutcher's Creek and find out what happened.
I was say,
Now that I would like to find
I
out
was say,
about.
I need to know that. That's my hometown. I need to understand that. But if, The price is right, definitely.
Yeah, I might do that one for free.
If what we
You've done everything for free.
I gotta be honest. I really don't understand how money works.
Clearly.
Like the otters are like,
if what we have heard is true, then Clutcher has reawakened.
The bear.
Is he a bear?
Yeah.
Did we assume that? I
Oh, yeah.
don't know if we finalized that.
Oh yeah, he's a bear.
Oh, he's
yeah,
a bear.
He's officially a bear now.
Sox actually gets a little pale.
Is it an adult bear, a legendary bear. What level is this bear?
Yeah. Bear.
A young bear.
Bear. 5 injury boxes, 5 exhaustion boxes, massive claws that cause 4 injury, 1 wear.
I can
Or
take it.
injury is just a swipe of death.
I can take it.
Yeah, not me.
I can take it. If I storm it, we're good.
I can take
No,
it.
storm it. You can't storm. That's not a
Okay,
group.
it's not a
You're
group.
not storming
One
a
dude.
group.
Is there more than one bear?
Oh, you would be so fucked.
Let's give it a shot, shall we?
All right. So in that case, the Vagabonds sound like they're accepting the Marquis State's offer.
Yeah, it sounds reasonable.
What's
I don't really know what the price is, but
I was gonna say, what's the?
Well, Clutch of-
wait.
So they're heading out the way that I blew myself up, correct?
That is actually correct.
Well, Smith and I are like family. So as Smith goes by my stuff that I left behind, he realizes that
That's not his
most
hand.
of that stuff is counterfeit. Like my toolkit and everything that I
Got it.
supposedly blew up.
So he has the
Knowledge.
sense, or he's like, I see you, you clever son of a bitch. Right. Okay. Got it. So Sox knows that Artemis may and have in fact been faking his death and exploring it.
Correct.
The Marquis State turns to you. We must secure Clutcher's Creek if we are to retake the Woodland. We must hold the eastern part. So
If that bear woke up, there is no security net clearing.
you are the great Vagabonds. We will pay you 50 value of coin
Man,
to
they
your
must have
entire
been
group
Really good backers.
if you bring us the head of Clutcher.
You've never seen a bear before, have you?
Only rumors.
They're not rumors.
Socks, your exhaustion is cleared.
Oh,
Why?
why?
Because I have the fits for family. When you help them fulfill help them fulfill their nature.
Yeah.
Well, he helped me fulfill my nature, though.
Doesn't do shit. Well, don't worry. You guys aren't
yeah.
actually going to fight the bear. That's going to be potentially
Yes.
for next time.
Season 2.
Yeah. But
Well, that was fun.
fine then. You do not have to kill the bear. Just simply deal with it.
Disappear it.
Let's tame it.
Are you not a vagabond? What do you do this for? If not for the money.
For the
I never really thought about it before. I don't really do it for the money.
Actually,
He does
you're
it
like,
for the opportunity
I've
to
never
kill
thought about
people.
this before. And then you look over, Smith, and then so you have 3 options. And this is how we'll kind of end it.
Okay.
Socks. So Socks kind of looks, and there's like, you're like, I've never thought about this before. You look to the left, you see the road leading out of Sundell that heads towards Clutcher's Creek. To the right, you see the denizens of Sundell who are looking for someone to help them. And then there's the middle, just a random path into the forest.
Oh, I thought it was the path
To
to
be-
mill
And
town.
to be-
Sundell's close to your favorite mill
to be alone, just to be alone. So which is it, Socks?
How does this story arc
How
end?
does Socks season 1 end?
Sock season 1.
As people turn to see what Sox' decision is going to be, he's no longer there.
Oh, so good.
Where'd he go?
So that's 30, 40, 50 gold for us.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, you're like the new cloak comes around him and he just vanishes. And
Oh, that's good too. 'Cause he's got that coat.
Wow, this thing really works.
Lucius,
You could have used that cloak.
yes, that would have helped. So Socks disappears nowhere, but he did not choose to stay with the Vagabonds or go to Clutcher's Creek. He did not choose to lead the people of Sundell. Instead, he seems to have chosen his own path to be determined at a future time. Perhaps to go look for Artemis, who he knows is alive, or perhaps to finally go back to the woods where he belongs and be alone.
This
He needs
has
to
been
clear
too
his
much of an
exhaustion
hassle.
track. It's been a rough few weeks.
Meanwhile, Lucius and Vance together on the road again. Protector,
road
you know,
again.
you and your
I always knew it'd be us, buddy.
through thick and thin. There were
Stop causing chaos from a punch in the face.
You're such a
Vance
hitter.
finally got tired.
Vance finally
Tired of
gets
your
tired of
shit,
his shit.
man.
Yeah, he finally gets tired of
Once
his
I
shit.
became a duke of a place that I'm trying to take over and kick him out, yeah, we're done, man. We gotta stop this shit.
But you know, so you turn to Socks to see what he's gonna
Fancy new
do,
sword.
and
Where'd you
he's
get that?
and Socks is missing, and so the last scene is Vance, you know, the very tall, imposing Badger, and this sort of lightly armed, you know, kind of like Huckleberry Finn character that is Lucius, strolling along down the road as they head to Clutcher's Creek with the promise of a massive payday in their future.
I take Excalibur from him. Give me that damn thing.
You wouldn't even know what to do with it. Not me. You'd say it to me.
Oh yeah,
You're just gonna hurt yourself.
You're gonna hurt yourself. Give me that.
He's probably right.
And with that, our vagabonds literally walk off into the sunset. And season 1 of our route campaign comes to an end.
I'm interested in our final reputation scores.
You want the final rep scores? All right.
The other advancements don't matter, but that one I'm
So
interested
hard to
in.
miss. Who are you not completely hated?
All right.
by?
Well, let's do the list. Okay. We'll go one at a time. So we'll go Smith.
Well, wait. What advancements do we change because of this last episode? I guess
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
from
What?
like notoriety and reputation.
Well, that's,
what we're doing right now.
that's what he
That's what
wants to
we're
do.
Okay.
Yeah. So Smith, who we got?
So we got cats.
All right. So the cats obviously are very happy with you. You guys did a great job for them. So mark 4 prestige.
Nice. Level up
Everyone?
to +2.
Everyone marked 4 prestige with the cats.
Well, technically, we're doubled.
And you're together,
yeah,
and it's
so we would
doubled.
get 8, yeah.
Yeah. That is, the cats are the ones that you double.
Nice.
And so everyone gets that for the cats. And then next we have the Eyrie dynasty.
Okay.
Well, at the end of the day, you know, you guys did save their lives,
saved their
and
lives.
kind of kept them from being destroyed, you know, things. So, yeah, I think
A little less on my side, though.
yeah, I would agree. You shot them and started
Not on
something.
me.
But Bob, mark 2 prestige.
Okay.
Everybody else mark 4.
And not you, Artemis.
No, not me.
Not you, Artemis. Now that one's not doubled because that's
Right.
the denizens we dealt with last time.
Yeah,
You can't really do anything with them this time, so that's fine. The lizard cult. You guys have destroyed their attack here. You've ground them into the dust. You have created a critical opposition. Mark 8 notoriety with the lizard cult.
I was.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
As you become known as enemies of the great worm. And then lastly, the Riverfolk Company. Aaron, mark 9 prestige with the Riverfolk Company as you took lead of them and saved them and sort of came to their defense and rescue. Nick, mark 6 prestige with the Riverfolk Company. And Bob, mark 3 prestige with the Riverfolk Company. Artemis, you were presumed dead, so none of these really apply to you. All right.
Nice.
So, final reputation scores.
I'm the opposite of Artemis.
Socks, what do we got?
Sox got a +2 with the cats. Still a +1 with the Woodland, but you know they haven't been around for a while.
No, you guys, they've been not a force. They're
plus-
actually, with Clutcher's Creek being removed and
are
Underleaf being taken out,
completely removed.
the Woodland Alliance has been wiped off the map.
That's right.
That
was their last little
that faction,
rebel faction.
that faction got completely taken out.
Wow. The denizens +2.
Yep.
The otters +2. The birds -2, but working towards positive.
Working towards paying off some of that debt. So
And -1 with the lizards.
now you're -1 with the lizards. So, okay. What about you, Vance? Where'd you end up?
+2 with the cats. +1 with the birds. The alliance was a neutral 0.
Yeah, you can almost cross them off the map.
Yeah. Denizens was a neutral 0. Otters was a +2. And the lizards with that was a -1.
Okay, so you guys have definitely gone on the lizard list. All right, Lucius, what about you?
Cats +1, Woodland Alliance -2, Eyrie Dynasty -2, Denizens +1, River Company almost to +1, and then Lizard Cult -1 technically.
All right.
So, yeah.
And then what about you, Artemis? Where did you end?
I was +2 with the cats.
Yep.
-2 with the Woodland Alliance, -2 with the Denizen, -2 with the Riverfolk, -3 with the Lizards, and -3 with the Eyrie Dynasty.
You were definitely the most wanted person.
Yes.
He literally,
in the woodland.
He
Only
literally
killed
had
like
the
two
want.
people. I'm not sure why.
He literally had the wanted ability. So, yeah. Now, it is the last session, but from a standpoint, did anybody hit any of their drives?
Yes.
What were your drives there, Bob?
I don't think chaos. I didn't actually
Not so
topple
much.
anything, but thrills when you escape certain death, which I almost died again.
Oh, you were
by the Eyrie Dynasty.
You were literally being lined up to be executed.
So,
So,
I'm gonna probably take a move. If
you would get
we
an
pick up.
advancement.
Yeah.
What about you, Artemis?
Wanted and chaos.
Yes, agreed completely. To double advancement. What about you, Vance?
Did not have protection.
Nope.
Esprit de corps, I would say.
You
I
led
had
those.
that.
You led the area into
I'd say-
battle,
I think I had that one.
Yeah,
so
Spirit de corps.
I moved there.
and then socks.
Folk hero and freedom.
Yep. All right. Sounds good. So So freedom. Sundell has been liberated to a sense.
If that's what you want to call it.
Well, the denizens aren't dead. The most of the people got secured, and the Eyrie dynasty was freed. And
Those cats actually got reinforcements. They might be able to hold it this time.
yeah, well,
Yeah, that's a good point.
that'll be, we'll have to see with next time, because if we it won't be for a while, but root might be something that we come back to, and in which case we might see different vagabonds. We might see the return of our existing vagabonds. The woodland might change, and of course our patrons would be a big part of that. So
Yeah, and if you at home really want Root to come back, obviously joining our Patreon, talking in Discord, telling us like this is like one of the best things I want to see. I want to see it again.
I want to see season 2.
I want to see season 2. Like obviously our patrons are the ones who are really going to drive that charge.
Yeah.
I was going to play it right away, but
Yeah.
to bring it back is going to be because of you guys.
Right. So Casey makes a great point. We can get metagamey with this. Protection hasn't triggered since session 1. Hard to protect a guy who is actively trying to get himself killed every session.
But you would think that would give it plenty of opportunities
Yeah,
to
but
protect
you're
him.
never. He's never around when you're doing
Well,
it.
that's his
Also-
own damn fault. He
also-
knows I'm supposed to protect him, and he walks off. So, but yeah, I should have changed that. Absolutely.
Yeah, right. That just didn't seem like that really applied that much, because it was hard to keep him from doing stupid shit.
Well,
and he always
like-
ended up getting fucking killed and having to escape on his own without you.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that was the biggest part miss, was that like you gave me there were plenty of opportunities to protect you, but you were just out doing your own shit, or I'm getting
Vagabond,
locked.
what do you want from me?
No, fair enough. I mean, it made sense. So
Yeah, and again, I mean, this is like one of the things. And again, we got a couple minutes here, so we can hang out with the conversation.
If you guys have any questions, put them in the chat.
Yeah, any questions? Put them in the chat.
Tell us what you think of about Root or this game or
Yeah.
terrorism and child murder.
Right.
What were your favorite highlights?
Well, yeah. I mean, someone made a great point. Like we could see what happens when you remove alignment from the game. Obviously, some people went a little bit harder in the
Not me.
evil paint than others.
he just had an itchy trigger finger. I mean, come
I
on.
didn't
Right.
kill anybody till the last session, and I only killed 2 people to defend him.
That is not true.
I did
Well,
not kill any of those people.
People died.
And
They might have died, but I did not kill any of them.
well, that is.
A judge
how
may
bombs
rule
work.
that differently.
the bomber's not found at
I
all.
was saying we are not giving any legal advice. Let's put that disclaimer out there now.
But one of the things that I think is important when people think about Powered by the Apocalypse games, and this is something that again I
There was a lot
really
of apocalypse in this one.
I really reiterate this. It's not a rules light game. It actually is not.
Right there at the end, I wasn't able to use the one rule,
Right.
the one move.
Yeah. And I think people get this confused, that they think because it's a narrative game, that means it's a rules light game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And it is not a rules light game. In fact, you know why I know this? Because I own RPGs that are like, 2 pages of a piece of paper.
Right.
And this has 2 books, and both of them are fairly
thick.
fairly chunky. There's a lot of rules. There's almost no fluffy background description of the world, because you all make it up. So, Root, like a lot of Powered by the Apocalypse games, and I would argue Magpie Powered by the Apocalypse games in particular, that's Root, Avatar Legends, etc. Actually do have a fair amount of rules, because the point of the game is just, look, there's still complicated rules. They're just not about, flanking somebody or, getting a bonus to your armor class because you raised your shield. It's more about moves that help you decide what is the next part of our story. And so, there are, like, Casey was talking about protection. That's what made me think about this. I'm not saying that you need to metagame it, but there is sort of a mechanical way that you can play your character advantageously.
I don't think that's metagame. I think that's what you're supposed to
Right,
do.
exactly.
That's just playing the game.
That's just playing. In this case, that is not metagaming. That is the game.
Right.
Right. Agreed. So, I think one of the things that you have to realize is there's sort of 2 approaches to it. I think one is you pick a nature, you pick drives, and then you play your character to fulfill those, because that's going to give you advances. It's going to clear your exhaustion track. Alternatively, if you're playing a certain way or a certain style, then you should, probably change your drives or natures to fit that, because that's an example of where the narrative is informing the mechanic and the mechanic is informing the narrative. You might pick your drive and pick your nature and say, I'm going to play this way because the game gives me rewards for doing it. And so, it's kind of forcing. But on the other side, if you aren't playing a certain way and those advancements or drives are never triggering, then you should probably change it to the way that you are acting.
Well,
and
especially with the, session retrain rule.
yeah.
Like,
It makes it easy.
yeah. And, like, you can always read the situation of what you're going to do next and swap it out.
So that's a perfect example of why I took the Esprit de Corps, because we
Right,
knew we
you
were
knew
going,
we were going
into
into
the
a
Battle
battle.
of Sundell,
Yeah,
and I
that
was
was
like,
smart.
this fits perfectly. Now,
And it makes sense too narratively because your drive is to win this battle.
right, and that's where, like, mentioning before, like, yes, I did not change protection. I changed some other stuff, but like I gave up loyalty in the beginning. And then I went to like greed because like, okay, we're gonna get paid. I want to get paid. Then I changed it again, so I took another move there to change it to the Esprit de Corps. But I had changed some other things that actually enabled me to ultimately be better. Yes, I may not have filled out that drive, like satisfied it, but some of the other things I think helped me in the end to do some of the stuff that I did in the battle and things like that.
Right.
So
And the other thing about it too is it's a great way to sort of take a moment and highlight to the group, hey, that thing that happened this session, I think it was a big deal to my character, and I'm going to change my nature or my drive from this to that. Socks was a great example of that.
Right.
When you went to folk hero, because you found yourself in this situation where the denizens were looking to you in Underleaf. You were literally, doing some superhero shit, swinging ropes across burning buildings, and with a baby in under your arm. And so to
I
reflect,
needed a target practice.
and so to reflect that, you changed one of your drives.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like that, because not only is it, it's fluffy bullshit, but it's not, because that makes your character perform differently and be rewarded differently. Yeah. And so I really like when, and it's just a great sign to the group to say, hey, let's take a minute. I really want to call this out, that I'm going to change that.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, a lot of times when you're playing D&D or any of these, I think, D20 systems, you just play the character you made day one the whole way through.
I was gonna say this.
You don't ever.
There's not much change.
You don't.
Yeah.
I mean, you get feats and stuff, but that's just to make you fight better.
It doesn't. Yeah, it
You
doesn't
don't grow
change.
as like a personality.
Yeah,
You don't develop.
Other than a alchemist going into a barbarian, you don't change your class as much like
Correct.
you can in this, where you can change literally your nature and your drive.
Yep.
Well, big $50 tip from Zeria's. Thanks, guys. I enjoyed all the episodes and can't wait to see the next series. Thank you for filling out that
Thank
tip
you.
goal. We're really excited
Thank
about
you.
it. Let us know in chat or in the comments. What are some of the indie games that we talk about? Casey says custom.
Now the super chat one's not filled.
We said both tips had to be filled for the costumes to come back on.
Put the lizard mask on, Nick. You can at least put the lizard on.
No, Vance has not been converted.
Secretly, he was the whole time.
Yeah, wait, Bob, you should be putting the mask on. You have the mask.
But yes,
I
thank
do.
you, Zerias. We really appreciate that support. That's why we're able to do all this, cool stuff. But yeah, let us know in chat or in the comments or on the Patreon in KLC content chat. What game do you want to see next? We've heard a couple items thrown around, and we'd love to have that conversation with you. But thank you so much for that generous.
I like
tip.
Casey's comment.
What did
Thanks,
KC say?
guys.
He sent the last session to his main group, who is hesitant to try PbtA because it's all narrative, no combat. Because the beach scene was the dopest combat I've seen in an AP, way cooler than F20 combat, and it was 10 minutes.
Right.
So, Casey, get the link for Bob's birthday bash.
Oh.
Send that to him. That is
Especially
that's
if a group likes to
PbtA.
drink.
It's a hack of Dungeon World.
Yes.
And it's actually using Forge of Fury, which is one of the best 3rd edition adventures ever written. So literally F20. Show them the combats in that, because those were visceral. Like, Roots were pretty okay. Like, the fights in the birthday bash, they were like
Plus,
intense.
and we're playing fantasy. Like, it's more,
they were brutal.
Yeah.
More hardcore.
Very
but it's
hardcore.
also just, again, the narrative in that was just so fun. Just with consequences, like it was. I had a lot of fun playing the birthday bash, and I don't know if also I just really like that adventure too. Like,
Sure, it's a
great adventure.
classic adventure. But I mean, I think that I do think that there are. It can be hard for people to run combat sometimes in Powered by the Apocalypse because they get too obsessed with, thinking like a D20 game.
Actually, since we're talking about it, I kind of like the combat in Dungeon World is CAC better than in Root.
Sure.
I felt the weapon moves in Root kind of took away from the narrative aspect of
Sure.
it and made it a little bit clunky.
I agree.
Right?
I actually agree.
That's what Avatar does really nicely, right?
Avatar can get clunky too with the combat rounds. I think
for the round, yeah.
it works because of the show. And so I want
Fair.
to try Avatar again.
So you're saying
because
Dungeon World just because hack and slash?
Yeah.
It's like
right.
real.
It's hack and slash. And so the way they're kind of compensated for it's just hack and slash because the mistake is people who come from F20 play Dungeon World and you go, I make an attack. Okay, that's hack and slash. That's wrong, right? What Derek did really good because he's good at PbtA is really use the narrative to drive the tension and to drive the combat. So if you remember when we were playing that, like we would do things like grab your shield and bash someone over the head with it.
It was wild.
Derek was constantly like, okay, you succeed, but you lose your weapon, all kinds of really cool things, which in like
I lost my whole backpack.
right. And that's an example where like
Very true.
to do that like in like a Pathfinder game, Derek would need like 38 feats, right?
Actually, I don't even know you could do that to me.
Right, probably. Yeah.
Probably can't even do that in PF2, right? But instead, Derek just used the narrative. And I think in these kind of games, that's actually, for me, part of what makes PbtA awesome. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's bad at all.
Right.
I'm just saying, worrying about the weapon moves and all that stuff, it kind of took that a little bit away. And I'm like, okay, I'm almost back to Pathfinder now where I'm going to go do a power because that's what my weapon tells me
Correct.
to do, right?
It is definitely more structured
It is more structured.
than a game like a Dungeon World would be. Yeah, I mean, again, I could do a whole thing, but I mean, there are things that Magpie PbtA does that I really do like, which is this the idea of sort of I like the nuance between the fate or trust luck move
Absolutely.
Yeah.
versus the I'm skilled at this. Avatar
Yeah.
does the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I like that it's like, yeah, no, you can do anything you want. But if we haven't established that your character was good at this particular thing, then you're not really relying on your skill. You're really kind of more relying on your pluck or your luck. And that is actually something that I think like a game like Dungeon World or a Dungeon World hack could actually use.
I agree.
Really well.
That was super strong in Avatar.
Yeah. And to the end about like Avatar is the same way. I think that there's a lot of moving parts there, especially in what's called the combat exchange system.
Yeah.
I will say that the advantage, because I've run a lot of Dungeon World, in a game like, right or wrong, the problem is that dice rolls in Powered by the Apocalypse are very meaningful.
Yes.
And they tend to generate a lot of fucking consequences and problems, right? You make your move and it's like, okay, I got a 7, 8, or 9. So I did it, but then there's a thing. Okay, I got a 6 minus. The GM gets to make a move. Doesn't even necessarily have to be tied to what I was specifically doing. The reason Avatar has the combat exchange, we were talking about people were kind of frustrated with this. They said, because it is a reasonable expectation that in most conflicts where everyone is assumed to be somewhat of a combatant.
Yeah.
Right? Like in Root here, Bob and Dirt weren't really combatants per se. But like if you're in a situation like an Avatar game where everybody is a martial
Everyone can
artist
fight.
and a cool bender, or you're in a D&D
Even tells you
game
that in
and
the book.
everybody's an adventurer, everybody's a hero, everybody's a PC. The assumption is everyone's going to want to make it a move. And so you don't have combat rounds in PbtA, but you kind of do because you want to give everybody a chance. But the problem is PbtA falls apart when you make a lot of moves. When you go, make a move for that, make a move for that, make a move for that, it falls apart because eventually you're going to just generate so many consequences, it's going to be just a disaster and a mess.
It's the Iron Sword effect.
It's the Iron Sworn effect. What they try to do with the exchange system is if you look at the exchange system in Avatar, each player makes the move
Right.
simultaneously because it's just to you.
Right.
And there's no GM move on a 6 minus.
That's right.
There's, in fact, all of the actions in the combat exchange don't require a dice roll.
That's right. They
The
just
only
happen.
dice roll you
Yeah.
make is the stance move, and all that tells you is can you use one of your advanced moves, or do you have to use one of your basic moves? But then you get to just pick the
No,
move
it's very
and do
smart
it.
how they did it.
And
Yeah.
they did it because it makes it just so that you don't get into this problem of death spiral.
And again, I
of
want
dice
to clarify.
spirals.
I'm not trying to say Avatar was clunky the way like that Root can come off as. I think that's just inexperience with the game. To your earlier point, there's a lot of rules.
Yeah.
Avatar is a system that you got to learn, and we played it as a one shot. Right?
Right, exactly.
And in fact, I'm actually more pro the Avatar system. Everything you just mentioned, also, like I said before, it better jives with the cartoon because Avatar is really trying to emulate the cartoon.
Right.
And you have this furious exchange, and then you do break away, and then there is some dialogue, and then you do make that choice to re-engage. You don't do that in F20. I would say you probably don't really do that here in Root. Root
Right.
is very just like stab people until they stop fighting. You
Right.
know?
We don't do that in Root.
Yeah, and
It could happen in Root, but after it's very clearly defined, and I think that's super important to that specific genre.
And something else that I really want to make sure that people hear as we kind of do this kind of brief debrief is remember that Root is Avatar Legends is trying to be a fun game and tell cool stories, but it is trying to emulate the Avatar show. It's trying to talk about
It does very well.
yeah. Root is also trying to do that to the Root board game.
Yep.
And there is a faction in the Root board game called the Vagabond faction, which is just a vagabond running around the board. And in the game, the vagabond runs around. He does favors for some of the factions. He's not a member of any of them. He can cross through the woods. And when he goes into the forest, he heals up. They get a bunch of items and gear. That's what they're trying to do is they're going to dungeons. They go to factions and do trade with them to get gear from them as like reward for doing a favor for them. And they build up their whole board, their little player board of the board game with all sorts of gear. And then the gear can become damaged when they get into trouble and then they have to repair it. So the whole board game experience of the Vagabond is running around, doing quests and missions, getting gear
That's an
and
RPG.
getting loot. And so the Root board, the Root RPG is really trying to emulate that experience. That's why there's so much emphasis on things like wear
Right.
and getting equipment and the reputation system and the faction system. So I think that
Again,
that
great job, great emulation, great
Right.
job, Magpie.
so that is something that I think you have to realize is that like anything, you're going to have rules for things that the game cares about.
Yeah.
And so that is kind of where and so to the end with
Yeah,
the
Root isn't a game that's caring. We talked about this before the session, right? Root doesn't care about your feelings.
right
As
Root
an
does-
Avatar, you have moves for that
Yeah.
go, hey, this is how you deal with someone's emotions, right? Root cares about like depletion and blindsiding people and how much injury boxes you have left.
Right. It's a little bit more gritty. It's a little bit more tactical. But the other thing about it is, too, to your point about the weapon moves, Root cares about what weapon you have and are you good with it? Because weapons and your gear is like a big part of the Root experience. They want you to sort of be focused on your gear and your items. There's extensive rules that we really didn't make too good use of like the items being customized. Right. And sort of being designed to sort of fill your character's ability. So, to that end, I agree with you that like because these weapon moves exist, it makes it so that it's like less freewheeling. Because like in a game like, now to be fair, theoretically, remember, you could do anything with a weapon move.
This is true.
You would just be trusting fate.
Right.
So, for example, if Bob wanted to, Bob has. You
Still in
have
the
your
group.
you have your broken bow, all right, and you're parrying somebody, and you're like, I don't want to kill this guy. I just want to disarm him. Now, there's a weapon move for disarm, and you couldn't do that move.
Right.
But if you in the narrative, if you said, well, I'm going to try to,
Yeah, I'm going to try to disarm him.
just try to disarm him, that's just trusting fate.
Yeah.
So, which means that like even if you succeed, there might be a cost.
Right.
Like the bow gets even more fucked up.
Which is
or
why I
something.
really love Avatars. Rely on your skills and training because you just get away with so much with that.
Well, that kind relies on your skills and training.
Roguish feat.
Was basically the same thing as Roguish Feat.
Yeah.
The difference
just
is that
upgrade.
Roguish Feat has these 8 or 9 things that are specifically to what you can do. Whereas in Avatar, it's my character's from the Earth Kingdom,
right.
and so they could probably do this, right? And so it's a little bit more like
It played on the narrative, which is nice.
it's a little bit more freewheeling. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. So they are different games. They are different games. Well, I think that'll do.
That'll do.
So thank you again for
Another
joining.
chapter.
Yeah, we're probably going to take a couple. Yeah, we'll probably take a couple weeks off as we sort of kind of reboot and reset, and we'll kind of figure out what we're going to be doing next. Of course, we've got a ton of games to talk about. I still have to talk about the 2 Pathfinder 2 classes. I haven't read them. The new ones from Pathfinder 2. And yeah, ultimately, it really comes down to you all and what you guys want to see more of. These actual plays are designed, especially nowadays, to be more of like an introduction to the system that I think a one shot doesn't quite get you there. But
we do have a one shot coming up.
we do. We're going to be doing a Call of Cthulhu one shot this fall, hopefully around Halloween.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, I think it'll be
like Call of
interesting.
Cthulhu.
I,
The genre. I never played the game.
right. I'm still not sold on it, but we'll see. You know, like the mechanics of the game definitely seem to support what it's trying to do. So I do respect that. Big shout out again to all of our patrons, our legends, our exalted members in particular for their incredible support, but to our heroes, champions, knights, and squires, even the lowliest amongst you who have just joined this month have already done more for this channel than so many other people. So if you've ever donated,
YouTube.
yeah, and YouTube does not give us shit. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for allowing us to do this. Again, we enjoy playing these games, and it's fun when we can share them with you as well. So thank you, Dirt, Bob, Smith, Nick, for your awesome support here for the last couple of weeks. Thank you all for joining with us as we kind of go through this adventure. Look forward to more games from the Knights of Last Call, and who knows, maybe even a return to Root someday.
And thank you, Derek.
Yes, thank you for running this.
Thanks.
It's been
ton of
fun. And thank you to our Patreons for who brought us Root. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So
thanks, Eric.
thanks, guys, and thank to all of you. And we're gonna wrap that up. I gotta find out. Here we are. I gotta find my ending stream. Thanks so much, and we'll be back. We'll see you next time on Knights of Last Call. Bye, out.
Peace.